I'm not guaranteeing a thing with mine either, so.
You may get more than one of them.
Yeah.
Well, that should be interesting. That kind of stuff is the best.
I've
It's
seen
part of
that
it.
happen before.
Oh, yeah. We can always edit them, can't we, Willie?
Yes, I think
We're planning to anyway, whether we get it or
I
not.
agree.
That's what we're
We're
gonna
gonna print
do.
this word for word and put it out to the community.
Sure, one time they weren't.
Maybe you won't want to tell all the stories they tell, you know, it may be that you don't want to. That is, if you start to tell something that you really don't want the whole town to know, you better let her shut it off.
Don't you trust
Laura,
her?
let's have that letter there. Laura,
Huh?
give that to
Oh, Dorothy?
Dorothy. She wants to read it, so.
No, it seems like we could trust Willie not.
Oh, Bernie, where is that, or before we get started on this, where's that road book? She wants
Road
that.
books in that, honest, I don't think there's anything in that.
Well, I think she'd like to look at it.
But, trouble is, it's so darned old, it stinks.
Well, never mind, I can hold my nose.
February 18th, 1986, 2 in the afternoon. We're meeting at Lora and Bernie Atherton's on the Gebbie Road in Greensboro. Present are Will Masse, Dorothy Ling, John Allen, Lora and Bernie, and Wilhelmina Smith.
And that I remember.
But I don't think there's anything in that that she.
This is, Sears kept track of his payments to the town, and then Bernie took over this book after Sears, you
The
see.
Sears that headed for.
Yeah,
But he was
Yeah,
first.
I couldn't remember.
You weren't
the
sure
Sears
it was
that
before or
headed
after.
for it.
and,
I would put.
now that's Sears, I can tell Bernie. Yeah, now they, you see Wilson, Irwin Wilson, and Collins and Miller, Lemon Miller auditors. And they audited this before Bernie took it over, and it starts there where Bernie, and it tells who worked, you see.
Yeah,
We used to
I
run
think
up
it's
with Fred
interesting, I
Foley.
found it
if he
interesting.
doesn't mind my taking it.
I had to write with him and he
He
charged
doesn't
so much
care,
a
he
day
just
for
doesn't
writing.
think you want
Yeah.
it. How was Pius
He
even
had to
judge
pay
on
25 cents a day.
Well, she used to do behind it, you know.
Yeah.
And, Joe get hold of the drill bits, you know.
Yeah.
So fifty.
Well, now you got to talk up better than that, I think.
I mean, this is nothing here, but
No.
goes like this. I was just telling Willie that was all.
How come that old man's here?
You can't have any
Oh,
secrets from all of us
seriously,
listening to you.
He says, by God, he says, the first one you strike over, he says, gonna get right over the head. And I guess probably would have too. He was a rough old.
This is one of
This
the-
is Sears.
This is Sears.
Yeah, that worked on the road.
Just like Sears catalog, huh?
Yeah.
No, C-Y,
CYR.
C-Y-E-R.
One before him, I know.
I think it's in that book anyway.
They put the road in up by,
Did you see Winchester or talk with him?
No, I haven't yet. But he lives up in Stanton, but I think he's also pretty knowledgeable about things around Greensboro.
Well, he's,
You said
Bernie
he
says he
put
built
bridges
bridges.
in.
He,
Yeah.
at that time, flood time, he put these bridges in. You
Yeah.
know. He put one in down there. And I think, I'm not positive, but I think he put the one in down at the village too.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm almost sure he put one in down at the end.
Yeah,
He put in quite a few of them at the time, I know.
I kept concentrating on trying to get in the town clerk's office, and I was going up last Wednesday to dinner and then stay. He asked me to go to Morrisville with her, so I did. So Monday I was going up and do the same thing. Well, of course, Monday the town clerk's office was shut.
I
I couldn't
don't know
get
how
hold
you
of it
do
until
all the
Monday.
things you're doing
His
anyway.
birthday.
So I'll still try it again.
Who was it?
Before?
Yeah.
I can't.
Rose? No. Oh,
Well, who did it after you? Who did the
Who
roads
did it
after
after I did? It went into a different category then, I guess. I mean, you know, that business was left out, you see, and it went right into, well, it was bid on more, you see then,
You didn't have a state road commissioner then after you did it.
after I did it.
That was the 35 or so, I think you told me.
Road was bid on.
you? So when were you, what were you, a road commissioner it was called?
Yeah, they
State.
called it the state road commissioner.
And I didn't even know they
State
had
road-
such a thing.
Regular road commissioner, the state road commissioner it was.
And that, when were you that?
Where was I?
When were you the road commissioner?
Oh, that was back in the 30s, first 30s.
32, I think we found it, and we are somewhere around that.
32, 31.
I know he's back in 29.
31.
Are you doing that when we were married?
I
Down the road.
We were married in 29.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. Yes.
well, then you were road
Yeah,
commissioner.
I'm drunk a bit, I can prove
Well, yeah. Well, that was in 29. We were married in 29.
I graduated in 29. My folks had a Buick, and so we got some of the boys. We thought we'd have our last little fling, so we went up the stage road. I was going faster than I should, I knew. We went up Baker Hill out the top, and Bernie, he was state road commissioner. He just started graveling that morning on the top of that knoll. I'm telling you.
You slowed down?
No, I did eventually. I never comes in there going into some trees and everything. Boy, we were off on velvet Logan cars with some donkey. Myself, I did. Boy, you were rolling down through that, nowadays, fools, I find quite fools hill.
You know George Marshall, George, worked for the mill down there. George Marshall.
Yeah.
He worked for Haynes at it.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Haynes mill business, so got slack there, and they bought that truck here.
Yeah, I know.
And George worked on the road throwing gravel, you see.
Yeah.
So Joe DeMars, he did the leveling for me.
Yeah.
And of course, what we did was when we come to gravel road, well, we'd put one load up like this, and lot and throw up like this, and then we'd start back here and put the middle one in. Well, there was a couple of times that George Marshall, George put him out here. And both times by Kramer's George, when you come to start, he'd stall his truck.
Yeah.
And dump it all right there. Well, of course, George chewed this beech nut. Tobacco nut. John was coming down just like a chipmunk. And Joe Myers chewed tobacco too. Well, honest. If you can see those two fellas spitting, well, after that happened 2 or 3 times. By then, he'd planned it on, so always to keep George to dump in the middle. He'd never let him dump because he'd always spoil his shoulder. I'll never forget that. He'd always,
Well, we didn't level that morning, but, it's going quite a little ways, boy, that soft gravel, and you're the first track through, really.
What were you driving?
What?
What were you driving?
Driving a Buick. One in the back.
Yeah.
Window. Like, that far up the Newport salesman Bradley, he sold 1, 2,
Yeah.
sold 5
5 Buicks.
Buicks in this area. Oh, well, just right around the village.
Wasn't that a Buick? Must be those were famous at that time, because
well,
we had an
we
old
bought
touring
a top
Buick.
cannon.
Yeah, we had a touring Buick with the windshields on the back seat. You know, that was pretty fancy. And you had windshields for the back seat. You put the top went down, and you had back windshields that went across the front and then wings.
Sure.
Yeah. Why, that was pretty
That was
fancy.
everywhere. That's like, them saying Dave, Gray, and they had their windows in back. One lives way up on the hill.
And
They used to, what was that?
Where's I know the name of the
Boy,
guy.
that
I
was,
can't think
they
of
were
You
seven
still got it.
passenger.
Yeah, and they still got the guy.
Yeah,
Still one nice old car.
I like that car now. I always liked that car.
Yeah.
That we had that for our wedding
Yeah. That was
trip. We went camping and had all our paraphernalia, tent and all in there.
there, come outside.
And I remember when you got married, we were out getting the stage fixed up, and we were walking the woods here. We were getting ferns.
Yeah.
We heard the damnedest noise. We looked up, and they was burning. They were just striking hill.
Bernie's father was to blame for that. He called ahead of us. After we had left, he called down to the village and told all the men in the creamery to be out there. We were
Told
going
Robert
through.
Woolley.
Yeah.
You know, it was trying to get a bunch together.
And we went so fast, they didn't have a chance to do it.
Just barely-
You were going right
just
for
barely
it, I'm
skipped
telling
us.
you.
Yeah, just
I
barely
remember that.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's quite a while ago.
Yeah, just about 57.
let's see.
How many cars were in town?
Well, by then, there'd be a lot of them, by 29.
I
They
guess
came
so.
in at about 18, 9, and 10 in that.
Oh,
They
really?
had the first ones down at the Bend, believe it or not. That seemed to have been the Friday.
George
place. George
Davis.
Davis, and, well, Lewis had said Byron Davis at one time, but he was gonna double check it with Warner's folks, because I didn't find that in any books at the state library. And Collins, then Abner Hill had one. Thought he was the first farmer.
The
down
old
that one.
steamer, yeah.
I guess he bought his from one of the Bend men, maybe, it was the Stanley steamer.
The first steamer I remember was Aggie McCollum, he was the railroad. He was the top,
Mail carrier, wasn't he?
mail carrier.
Sure.
And he had a
remember that.
old red steamer.
Benjamin Collin, was that it?
Yeah, Aggie
Yeah.
McCollum.
He,
He
I remember that because he had the first steamer there, and I can remember that he carried mail there.
I'm working
Then
on
who was that girl that carried mail and she couldn't get through? She's on her horseback.
I've heard
Oh,
of that
she
one.
living back in the lake, yeah.
Yeah, she did.
I can't remember the name bothering me now.
Well,
Yeah,
I about
Me, I tell you.
My wife,
What was her name? It's just she'd go on horseback. She couldn't get through. She'd always. She carried mail a lot on horseback, you know, but she
Now,
couldn't get
talking
through.
about, turn that off for a minute. I don't want you to, but I think you're
But you
getting
got that
great.
on.
Of course you.
Bring mail.
Okay.
We got tea for you.
For tea.
And there's tea. We got tea.
That's coffee.
I thought she had it all made.
The tea, I've got a tea bag.
And I don't want anything warm, I thought you just give me a glass of water, it'd be perfect.
Bernie, do you remember
I'm
when
a
they
big-
started delivering mail? Am I supposed to do something with that cover, I guess not.
Yeah.
I wondered by him.
Yep.
That's all, I'm a big water boy.
Well, maybe I
Two,
will.
3 quarts a day.
There we are.
Only I can remember that was when what's name carried the mail, that steamer there. That's that's the first I
That's the
can.
first one I
I
can just
remember.
I can just I would say
I
that.
want to say one run the garage in that village here years ago, he used to carry the mail, he had one of those, forgot the name of the cabinet, it was 1 or 2 cylinder with a chain drive. Not McCann.
Oh, you mean the mechanic?
Yeah,
He used to drive the mail?
yeah, he did for a while.
So I just got a
so-
letter from him the other day. Of course, I remember that, and I wrote in that I'm trying to get some help on
They were saying how he
on
drove
the
that little
telephone.
guy, yeah.
I thought it was a mess. He says it was I had it pretty all right, and it had chain drive, and it was wooden axle,
Yeah,
and he had a great big gas. I call it last light, but it's enough thing what he used. So,
Yeah.
and I can just buy that, and it's rather strange.
because he was driving in Burlington every year to the show.
Oh, he's been in Browning Free Press quite a few times. His brother has it now, he told me. And,
Where does he live?
that is, boy, that is
As I knew he was.
1911.
I don't know where he is now.
1911.
Yeah.
They were delivering mail in 1911.
I would say that's when he
Was that the
was-
first of the mail delivery?
I
Did they
don't know,
deliver with
this
teams
is
before
the
that?
telephone that I'm working on.
Oh, good.
So, and it's rather strange too, on this, they had Glover, Crashbury, Albany, and Greensboro. You see the telephone that first died out, each town more or less had it.
Yeah.
And when he came back, when he graduated from UDM, he went to Pennsylvania, went to work at General Electric. Then he came back and went down to Massachusetts somewhere and worked for a year or so on motors.
Yeah.
And he got sick of it because he was an outdoor man.
Yeah.
What was
Then
his
he came
name?
back here, and that's when he bought the telephone, whatever would make a company out of these 4 towns. So our telephone in this area came through from the north side. Oh, he kept the dates and everything, and he looked it up, he put quite a little work into it. I
What
got
was
it on
his name?
that's funny.
What was his name?
Buchanan.
I thought, I remember sort of hearing
And
the
he was the
name
one
when I
that
was
ran
young.
the garage down here.
Yeah, same one.
Same one.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He used to come around every once in a while, because in them days they had
Well,
them big batteries that went in your
He
telephone.
had the garage over there. He was driving by Helen's
Oh,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah, he
That's
ran
what I
that.
mean, yeah.
He ran that
Old building
for 3
there.
years.
What that building used to be?
Well, that was, shop. I got the picture of it, I got the people that lived there.
And
That's
they
not
used
one of
to
the
make
carting
cheese.
wheels or something, is it? I
Well,
mean,
it's
something in
changed
there
2 or 3
somewhere.
times.
Yeah.
And they used to make cheese boxes and stuff like that.
I see the man that did it, 3, 4 places there, they made cheese boxes.
I remember.
And,
I
I
can't
remember the building
I know
vaguely,
it was-
but
Oh, yeah.
think
Keep
it was
my
usually-
garden that old.
Now, he went up and lived in that building, well, it's safe for anybody to go up there.
I know,
He went up
yeah.
there and put in some of these fancy, oh, he loved the outdoors.
Hmm.
Have you
And,
lived there all your life?
Yes,
Born here?
Yeah.
No.
all but 1 year, I guess, that's all.
And how old are you?
76.
Baby.
Yeah, I am.
Young.
Yeah, that's right. I feel all right.
Yeah, that's good.
well, that's what-
Yeah. Yeah, I was born down the bend. And now we Inglewood now.
And Paul Hudger worked for him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's when Paul, he finally gave up and went back to Vernon. He did come up here 2, 3 summers, second summer, but he didn't work anymore.
Hmm.
And, then he, Paul, that's when he went involved, had him off and drowned, and put up his garage there, and on that. And,
Was the Hydro garage in Greensboro, or was it in the Bend?
both.
they were both of them.
Brothers.
He had a
John,
brother.
I remember it in the
runs
Bend,
band.
it was the Tangy garage, right?
John was better at mechanics.
Now, we were on the ice subject, and over in Randolph, they went together, and they had quite a big ice house, and they made they call it the Randolph Association.
Yeah.
Mr. Howard was the head of it. They had a lot of fun. He'd go through with his suitcase, he should be working for a city. And Mr. Howard, over in Randolph, like almost all the summer folks, men would get together and want to go off and play golf. And his wife would be watching them and says, "See here, before you go that game of golf, you've got to fill that refrigerator." Of course, they didn't like that, so they went down, they got Paul to see if he would deliver
Yeah.
the ice in Randolph. And Charles Cook was working for him too, so Charles, and that's really how they all started the ice around the lake, because then Paul didn't like, when he come fall, and he had no way of cutting ice for the winter. So he taught my father to do it, and he went to do it then. But that's, there it is. No, he had done a lot of work with Mr. Cannon. When he taught there in college, when college was over, he'd get 4 or 5 fellows that he'd ask them if they wouldn't like to rough it, and they'd go up in Mount Mansfield, and he took the trail.
Long trail,
Long trail, yeah.
Long
There's a
trail.
Buchanan Lodge up there.
Yeah. And he would work up there for, well, the very last July and so. And he'd come in here and he'd go for the month of August until he opened up there in his garage.
Yeah.
So he was raised in Greensboro, was he born and raised in Greensboro too, or?
No, I think he was up Glover Way, I think.
I think, I mean, my mother's being a Glover, I think he came from Glover.
Yes, I know he did. Because, and that gives me the interest, he came back, because it's full of Roman, said because all he wanted was that city life, he was going back to the country. So he came up here, and I would assume that he lived in Galloway, and that's why he bought them all up, and that was his company.
Yeah.
It was Glover, Albany, Christ Street, and Greensboro.
4.
And I'm going to check right away. I understand that Cabot still is the only town in the state that has their own
Phone, yeah.
Phone, telephone, do you know what that's, so?
Yeah,
It comes
it
into
is.
Marshfield too, I think,
Comes
because
into
the-
Marshfield.
my sister
Comes
was
into
from
Walden,
a while
too.
back,
Yeah.
yeah.
Goes in there.
So,
Quite a
now, when, New England Telephone, eventually, they probably bought them up these, when they were all put in the section like this one I'm talking about. Sometime along, New England Telephone come in, they probably put them all in one. That's when New England Telephone Company was formed. I don't know that yet, but I'm going to check into it, but it assumes that would be what happened.
Yeah.
Because I was surprised but that's why our telephone came in. It came in from East Carsby into the Greensboro this way. It did come up through, telephone and electric, especially electric. No, electric didn't come in. I followed it up and it came up through East Hardwick and the band, on the big routes. And then if anything got to the band, of course, to come up to Greensboro, and got as far as Greensboro, Gene Simpson Street, where it went to East Carsby.
Yeah.
But it didn't come up from the bend to the Greensboro Village, did it?
I don't think so. I think it went the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause now
it did.
we're on a different line than the villages.
It's hard to imagine being without a phone, isn't it?
Yeah.
How did if you had an emergency?
Yeah, but it was awful nice when they got it, because they put 5 or 6 on the same line.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You know everybody.
I knew I
No, there's a lot of people, it irked a lot of them, but that was true. I know I checking up, we had 6 on our line.
Yeah, we had,
And that was June.
Oh, yeah,
I shared
The first,
Never thought about it afterwards. My mother, we never did.
But we had
Unless
one
somebody
that
was
the guarantee
sick.
was listening.
The telephone was always the fire serum too.
That's
They
right.
rang and it rang and told you the time and weather.
The telephone was when we had our signal, we go down to bed and stay all night and that, look out, we got it on the telephone.
yeah.
And then after that, the church bell rang. And but that was pretty thorough. I had the corner, and that was kind of coming from 100 up high out way.
sure, yeah.
I said, if I had stopped them and just stopped them on the side of the road, just told them to turn out the light. And there wasn't a light that you could see in this whole area, but just one.
Sure.
And that was
You could see one, you'd seen one that should look. At that time, we was over Cedar Rock, see?
yeah.
And we had that, building that went out from the barn there. Because I had raised hogs over there.
Oh, yeah.
I had 4 or 5 brood cells.
Sure, yeah.
Then just at that time that's gone by, gosh, if they had those blackouts that my cells were pigging.
Yeah.
What I did, you see, was I hung blankets up to the windows.
Oh, yeah.
Because I always stayed out there with them when they
Oh, I
were
did too.
having their little beaks.
Well, I wanted to They wallets.
I'll never forget
were
that.
white as
Yeah.
something.
I went down the
boy.
street a couple
Yeah.
They would-
nights and
They
they were
would-
shaggy.
I did too.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Paul Mason.
yeah, I was on in that lookout.
Sure, yeah.
Paul Mason.
I did it weekends. I was teaching cars, so I
They'd go by
I
that,
did it
you know, I mean,
weekends.
you don't check him, but,
Yeah.
yeah,
I just wind up 5 or 6, sometimes 8, 10 guys.
yeah.
From my place to the corner, you try to go around the corner.
Well, you used to go down to Bend.
Yeah, I said weekends because I was teaching then, so I had to do it weekends.
Paul Mason, I used to.
No, I only see one, I only heard one time.
So this was a lookout during the war.
You know, you had a lookout, you telephoned in and just telephoned the
Yeah, if you saw any airplanes, any planes.
Yeah.
Where was the lookout?
Well, there's just, as you're going to Bend, just you go down here and all the little white house, it's Mercy is. Well, it's back this way.
On the
You turn
right-hand
the little
side.
corner, and it's right up the bank, right straight up the bank. I had to shovel in to get up the steps to get up there. And that's where it is, right up on top
But
there.
it's gone now.
I was,
It was there a few years ago.
Yeah,
Maybe it's gone now. It was there because- Yeah, when the
When
kids
I
were
was
growing up.
going
they were
around
around
side,
90
yeah.
once, twice.
They did,
I was honest, I just thought I pulled out, just went up there. Took me, finally got up, but I didn't know I could slide down. Boy, I had this speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mrs. Pope was the head.
Or hey,
they had a,
Hazel Guile.
Hazel Guile.
Yeah.
Oh, Hazel Guile.
Wasn't the
Yeah, she was the one that, had,
She organized all the volunteers.
big man.
She organized all the volunteers.
I
Hazel.
assume, yes. Well, they signed up. I never knew they had much trouble getting volunteers. I quit. Somebody came in, they were supposed to come in at 6, but being on the farm, I came an hour early.
I never went there, gee.
No, I didn't. Well, you were on the farm, we were farming too.
Sure.
I went down weekend, too bad we didn't go to the city.
Yeah.
For
Oh, yeah.
sure.
You were both married by then, were you?
What?
You're both married by then.
I just got married. Yeah, I was married. Because I know what,
Were you still in high school while I was teaching then?
Yeah,
I thought so.
you bet. You just left when I had to go around and meet my dad and fellow teachers. There was O'Neill, the Marge's wife, Jeffords, and Farrah Hill.
Yeah.
They taught. She had the elementary,
Yeah.
Hilda had the grades.
Yeah.
And that's when we were just scraping roads. And they got full of the back, but he didn't get everything about dark. And I'll never forget when I had to really call up my dad and wanted to know if he minded to come over. Dad said, no, come over anytime. He said, I'll be over about 2 o'clock. You didn't know what was up, boy, it was yelping, and you got Andy really upset, He didn't like this idea. So he come out, and about time we were out there, and we see it coming down the corner. There's a big red truck over the drive from behind.
Flat bottom.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know.
And, went out, he had to wing, he's supposed to wing, but
Yeah.
he was just going to, just making a little fast. Boy, he didn't know anybody was around, and boy, Andrew really jumped up on it, and he went to the door, and boy, they did. He told them if they didn't drop that wing down, we go down to, turn right around there and go back to that, and didn't want anything more of it. So then they went and got, who was the fellow that done the trucking? Neil went with him.
Avon did a lot of it.
No, this is the fellow that did the mill.
Oh, Dick Thompson had a fellow that scraped the road. I don't know where he came from. In a
No,
great
this is
big truck.
This is a fellow, he got married here and left. And he's down in the southern part of the state now, and he comes up once in a while.
Oh,
What's his name?
I thought you were talking
Well,
about
anyway,
scraping the road.
he and O'Neill, they scraped the roads that winter some.
Yeah.
And they used to invite the girls to go with them.
Gosh, they were
Truck.
different. Then they are now, aren't
No, they aren't a bit different. And
I'm nervous.
the Hill girl there. Oh, I'm not too sure that, so I'm not gonna say it. But I always kidded O'Neill. Hill, she speaks about it now. But they've done a better job scraping.
Yeah.
And when they finally go on scraping, it was Pastor Gebbie. He had a pretty good truck and just going into potato business. And I remember the first time he went down by, he had Everett Hill and Bill and Earl, he had every hill. I think it was Everett started out.
Yeah.
They went down by. Boy, everybody went out to see him. They got a great big hardwood stick, 8x8, and rolled it on.
Yeah.
And they got well, you know, Ernie.
Yeah.
Ernie, and they got the lift, the pipe and the lift. And that was controlled. You had to have 2. That was controlled by the fellow who was driving the truck. Well, they done a pretty good job.
Yep. I had him come up my place. And couldn't find out they wouldn't keep it open. Robert was plowing it from this place down through.
Then, of course, they
I
went.
got up there one
They
day
got
and
the
I almost got stuck, so I
They
called
finally
Foster,
got
he
the
came up, called me up.
Oh, boy.
So work for that, that's a big road.
So then,
Do you fellows remember the first airplane that landed on the lake? It just came To Greensboro?
Well, I can remember when, one of the first, I
Was
know,
Dr.
first
Hyder,
times,
don't
was
you remember?
Luther,
Dr. Hyder.
Dr. Hyder,
Yeah.
he came, and then after he followed it.
His mother was ill.
Yeah.
And he came, landed on the
Oh,
lake,
yeah.
and they came and got
Yeah,
him.
he had a
Oh,
cat
yeah.
Take care of his
back in the
mother.
He
lake,
comes
yeah.
from Connecticut, he was a doctor in the Bridgeport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's when my brother
And
took
we
his
all,
internship.
why, the whole school went
Whole
to see
school,
that
yeah.
time.
sure.
And then after that, Sidney Stone, the one that built the place up here, he used to come up weekends too.
Were the two planes shot down on the lake a short time ago at your place?
Yeah,
At that probably.
yes.
And he used to come in.
Yeah, once in a while,
And
yeah.
boy, when we'd see him going, you know, they had them big platoons, especially the Hyder boy, he had that big one.
Yeah.
That thing made a splash and it landed in the puddle over here.
We thought that was something.
When was
Come
that?
on, on that, in
Yeah.
that
I
airplane.
When was
really
that,
kinda
in the
liked
40s?
it too.
Well, when would that be?
What?
I was teaching it, what year would that be, do you think?
Oh, my
Could that be,
My son's right.
God.
I was teaching the village,
Oh.
but that could have been way back in 30.
35.
I want to say the last of the 30 or the 40.
I think it was around 36.
Uh-huh.
Something through that, because I remember I was working for Robert Wood.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was working in the gym.
Boy, that was a
I
big
worked
day.
13 years for Robert Wood.
yeah, yeah.
Before I bought my farm,
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah. I bought my
Well, in
farm
Masse, you know,
in
they said they,
43.
at noontime, you didn't want to be on that road up to this place. Really, that was before Scraping Road, we were right on the hot point of Scraping. Willie used to go up to dinner.
yeah.
And boy, he used to go through some roads up bad, nobody didn't know how he can get home through a horse and sleigh.
Well, I think he had a record for getting over his roads pretty
did.
well later on. He
Oh,
was
he did.
doing artificial
That's
insemination.
right. The guy was training then. Is that right, Willie?
Yeah. I remember driving from the farm down and up and down on roller tracks
Yep.
with my old Dodge.
You did?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was froze solid, it rained and it froze. The wife wanted
Oh,
up
you're
to see
there
us,
as
so
well.
I drove up on the roller track early in the
right.
morning before nobody come
Yeah.
down, and I came down late that night, so I wouldn't meet in the team, because I'm in a team, I wouldn't know what I would do.
Now, this is on
What's a roller
the
track?
icing too.
Huh?
What is
This
a
is
roll-up
on the
track?
icing.
From the
They
rollers
just
that
started.
the
The big rollers.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Irvin asked him if they would scrape up to his place. He didn't even ask the town. I mean, he just bought, he had a Chevy, and he just bought a nice big international truck. Max Diamond drove it for him. And he
One
went
went down the
garage. So he wanted to get him up at home. So he hired, well, this is way back, he hired these fellows from Blackton, asked them if they could come in here and they'd scrape over so he could drive in. And I guess they thought they could. And so they drove in, but they got in there all over and they couldn't do it. They had a heck of a time getting out. So they told her that they'd scrape it for him, but they would want it to go up to Moffitt, the English Red Vine, then and turn around.
Yeah.
And that gave them a street that would be scraped. So next year, that was one winter went by. And the next winter, Irwin thought that he'd see the selectmen, so he'd see how they told him, you know, and asked him if he feels that they could pay half or a little of it. And he says, oh, no, you know, you don't want them no scrape roads, but this is a funny part of it. So Irwin scraped it that winter, last 2 winters. The 2 roads weren't scraped, and the English is red barn over to the 4 corners, because Hydra could scrape in the other way. Now they're doing the best they could, but they could, they'd scrape, and they went down our place. They don't, Greensboro don't scrape our road now, because they have that, and then they work it in some way over in the Gulf, or somewhere that, you know.
Yeah.
If it's bad, and it hasn't got scraped out, Greensboro, I'm not saying that Greensboro wouldn't, but it's always been that way. So that was only scraped, that was scraped from Tolman's 4 corners over, and 2 winters.
And to Moffat.
And you know what happened? Boy used to burn up my dad, and so we didn't really care, because He didn't drive a car, he didn't, I did. I had my 29 Ford. I used to go clear around East Hydrick and keep it in Doofer's old hotel down there. Well, what was coming at? Tallman, he didn't want scraped roads. Boy, he was one of the worst ones against it. But when he had to go to Danville, to his bank meeting, he didn't have to take the old man to Two-Spoon Sleigh and put it down in the village and get Sam, because it was a year or two to scrape in the village to bend up to his skyscraper. So all now he had to do was go from his place over to markets over there, and Sam would be up there meeting. But he didn't want to scrape roads. You know that makes you.
Well, it's hard to change. That's all, it's just plain hard to change.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
But he was a little bit on that other side, you know.
You mean,
Oh, Mr. Tallman, he was a wonderful father, wonderful neighbor too.
well, he's one of the best select man this town ever had, I tell you that.
That should be bad.
I just, they'll never get,
Now we'll get another one.
no.
But then he had,
He, at the time that I had the road work here, we traveled over through there from the corner over through to his place. He wanted to put a culvert in there, and Hiram and George Davis, and he was the select man.
yeah, they were slick memos.
And, Hiram told me that, I'd never get a culvert in there. At all, because he says, Hiram, Tallman doesn't want water road running on his field. Well, Hiram says, I just don't have it, because, you know, then horses, by going along, making manure, why they just don't have that water wash onto the fields like that. But no, Tallman didn't want it, and they'd never been able to get the culvert in there. So, I want one in that the worst way, because it was a bad place. It was over, about part way over there, I mean, you know. So I went over and I talked to the alley, visited with the map quite a little while. And we walked out there and I showed him that part I wanted to put it in and everything. We talked to him before we got done, by golly, he told me, he said, you go ahead and put that culvert in right how you want it. He said,
I don't know if he'd have any advantage of it, but I've been in touch for a while, and some of them went away to it, and you wouldn't get it.
I don't know, look, I had the select men at that time that I had to work under. You wouldn't ask for a better bunch of men. There was Wilson, Ellie Tallman, and Andrew Woolley, and Hiram Calwood, and George Davis,
I know.
and who was somebody else?
I remember Bernie telling me he was in his 20s then.
No.
And,
No, I think Esden was at one time.
I don't mean Aston, the one I used to have the feed store the other day.
Oh, Amsterdam,
Yeah.
you mean, yeah. No, he never,
No, he never
he's
was-
never in town.
He never in town, I know.
Oh, I know, I was
No.
getting mixed up.
Bernie,
Yeah.
tell him about Calwood telling you that you couldn't satisfy everyone. Who was it? Somebody was complaining, and you went, I mean, Bernie was young, and he went to Calwood, you know, and told him that, I don't know who was, you tell it, because I don't remember, but I remember, you always remembered what he said, that you couldn't satisfy everyone. You satisfy yourself,
Yes,
and not,
that's it.
and,
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Something about the
it
road.
was something
business
bothered
there,
Bernie. He went to Calwood about it, and he says,
I generally went to him, and he'd take it up the other two, but I always been done on him.
Yeah, Mr. Tallman.
And
he
you
was,
fellas ever knew him.
But that's what he done, you
He
know.
was
He spent
Because
most
way
of
back there, at one time, of course, this was before we came here. They claimed that Hiram Calwood and John Barrington were running for representative of Montpelier.
Yeah.
And up here to, where Hiram lived there, you take it up that brook there, there used to be a dam there where they sawed lumber. Well, Hiram's father had a sawmill. Of course, then, one of the things that John Barrington brought up, and my dad said it never happened in the world. John Barrington claimed that Hiram Calwood pushed his father on the...
doing things like that.
They had the dirty tricks.
But, you know, we got along, never had no trouble.
Yeah.
But he was people that bought automobiles way back then, he'd go down, well, he knew anyway. He knew, that's one thing I was telling him, one of them on. He'd go down, he was in that town clerk's office down there in Arthur, when he was in Arthur. You could find him down there 3 days out of the week in the afternoon. And all he was doing was going through books and figure out the mortgage and how much they should get, and so this and that. And if it wasn't just right, he'd tell you, well, folks got to buying cars, you know. And he would take attitude on, he'd go right to him and say, well, he says, you never should have done that. He says, you know, he says, I'm gonna watch that pretty close now. And he'd bite when he put that little cat down over his nose and bit his lip. He knew.
Yeah.
He knew everything. But there's one thing in my dad, I never, there's in the paper there, wrote up that he and my father did trouble, like, they weren't on speaking terms. There's no time he went on speaking terms. But there is one thing that he really slipped up on. Over in the Gulf, Babcock worked in Gullia down East Haddock. That's where the big yellow barn is and everything. Yeah. And of course they knew where there was property, and Babcock went up there in the Gulf, about midway somewhere, and he bought a house and some land, and upon the knoll, quite a lot of timber. Nice timber, too. And so, of course, Dad was school director, and he was thinking about that. So, Mr. Babcock drove up there. He says, I bought a little field, a farm up in there. And he says, I know you're thinking it's going to be costly to the town here on transporting school kids. He says, if you'll be leaning on your prices on my land, he says, I'll see to it that there's never a family and there with children. So I went along, and I know my dad priced it one time, raised it up a little, I think it come to $15, $22 or something. He was all right about it. He had to do a little, because he had a beautiful stand spruce up in there. So Mr. Tallman, he was Lister. Then went over, and Dad was just school director then. And Tallman went over, and boy, he jumped that up. I see it in the record of my dad's diary. I think it was $60-some odd. And Mr. Woodson, Tom Babcock, come up. He says, Tiny, he says, got to hell. He says, that's a little bit steep. He says, I'll be willing to go half. So Dad went up to see Mr. Tallman. And he told him just what way to bend and everything. And he says, you're a school director. He says, I'm a lifter. And he says, I'm going to have it as I see it. So he did. So he put the fellow up there. Oh, what was his name? He sold used car parts. He lived in a shack. What was his name?
Yeah, I know.
Big heart attack the other one.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I know who you mean.
Lived down the Gulf. Yeah, I know, because I had a hang of a time getting taxis yet.
Yeah, I just found the young with his and then Ben was carrying, well, the first year, there's the kids, so they took him to Hadrian. And that was all right, because they said, village said if they take that kid, they let the kids go down there. Well, Hadrick never put a band on it. I don't know why they did it for years and years, and all like kids come East Hadrick and all around. Finally, they put the band on, just a few years ago. Yeah. And so when they put the band on, boy, they had to do something different. So the school board had to go around and make arrangements for him to carry his scholars, and they had to come over here. Of course, they grew up by the Alston up the town hill and come. And he lived there for 4 or 5 years and carried the scholars. And it cost this town anywhere from $9 to $1,200 a year. The transportation just on $35 worth of tax.
Yep.
But he had his way, then I got that.
It's been nice, so that business down there.
I can't remember the name of it.
Transporting kids, that's been nice.
I was teaching them. I had those children in school, I believe.
See, he was Millie Gager's brother.
Who?
Miss Babcock. He was Millie Gager's.
Which was his first name?
Clyde.
Clyde?
Clyde Babcock?
No, fine, no,
No,
that's
No,
not
take
Clyde.
Clyde back.
No, take Clyde, he's the one that had the, gravel pit.
Yeah.
Oh, she was related to him, and John Clyde then.
Yeah.
That's what come to mind, because it goes even with the gravel pit. But that one time, boy, you take that and add that, then finally had a heart attack, and they all moved out, I don't know nothing about it. Of course, now we get living. But that was once, $35 again. I look at it once in a while. Down in Port, anywhere from 9, I think the most is 1,200 and something a year. But that's what he lived on. So we always.
You have to get taxes, I know, pay me a little,
Oh, yeah.
every time I go, he gives me.
Well, he
a
didn't
little-
really have it. I think he had 6 kids, and all he done was.
No, of course he didn't have it on the land.
No.
He was telling Papa when he come.
I
You
forget
have
that
to take it
all
off
time.
your books, the same thing doing now. Yeah, it's getting worse.
I think I took, I remember getting a wheel once for
Farmers, I
a
get,
trailer,
getting it
one or
now.
two tires. I took, I mean, you know, for loaded.
You didn't take any birds or anything for
Pony.
taxes, did
No,
you?
I never took any bird.
He owed me $3 when he burned out, and I paid how much the bill paid, and I give it, took it out of my own pocket. My God, yeah. I don't need a fried cheese, I bet at these places.
So I get to tell quite a few more stories.
Yeah.
You didn't take any birds or anything for
Pony.
taxes, did
No,
you?
I never took any bird.
He owed me $3 when he burned out, and I paid how much the bill paid, and I give it, took it out of my own pocket. My God, yeah. I don't need a fried cheese, I bet at these places.
So I get to tell quite a few more stories.
Yeah.
We haven't cut any ice yet, though.
No, I was just gonna say that. I didn't want to break the
If we're going
thought.
to have an evening here, we don't get going pretty quick.
Look at that one, see that?
Yeah, I'm watching it. I've been watching it night long.
That's it.
Woodpecker.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to know about the ice business?
Yeah.
Guess
I
I wanna
can't
know
tell you
right from the
much.
start how they did it, don't you?
Well, they had an old Model T Ford engine hit to a pair of runners. And it had a iron that came out with like a corn plant. I stuck it in the crack they just saw before, so you wouldn't.
So you'd have some straight cakes.
Oh, yeah. They do. This way for Irving, he didn't get one.
I got that sit down. I was working there, and they went to Georgia, I think. You see what happened, really, to get back from that, and the ice business, the old ones was, used to cut around, the farmers would get together and cut their own. Mr. Drown was one of the big name cutters at that time. You know, there's Ethan Hartz and Homer Hartz.
Was that before,
That was before Irving.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is way back.
So it
And I had it in the diary that 1918, where my dad wrote and said Mr. Drown called up and said that we were to get our ice tomorrow. And he really, he cut the most.
what month was that in your
That
diary?
was in January.
In January. So you started
Well,
cutting
then,
in
you
January.
see, he was running the mill.
Yeah.
And then the Boston Board of Health, after he hired everybody, but boy, he couldn't cut ice fast enough. He had to do something. Why, the teams would be lined right up behind. Then you had Walden, Hardwick, East Hardwick, Christ Spring, Standard, all around it. Every farmer was getting their ice off there because they had to put up their ice to keep their milk. The milk was only to be 40. And, well, they couldn't do it so well. And, Tony Clish was he was quite a guy. Tony, everybody got a little disgusted with him because he was the one that brought up all
I did too.
the voters for Irving Howe, and he was lots and lots of days, you know, was all right. But I would have been just as straight as straight.
Yeah.
But Trish would bring that up to him every single morning. And they'd go in that little hot place, and Irving get to drinking, and by about 3:30, John the plant would have to put him on the wagon and take him up to his house.
Yeah.
Now
I worked down there 2 solid years on the ice. I never see Irvin Hall drunk once. They had liquor. There was liquor in the little shanty we had there where we ate the dinner. Because Al LeBrun, I say Al LeBrun, had just as much to do with that ice business as Irvin Hall did.
Yeah, he did.
Because he see to the packing and like that.
Oh, yeah, that's how I worked.
And
time as Irvin.
that time that, well, we scrape off a chunk, you know.
I know.
You have to light it up.
Sure.
Well, Al was holding the scraper. And we were scraping it off, and of course, you know, going through the scraper wipe to leave it, you know.
Yeah.
And I was walking along through there. Oh my gosh. All at once I went right down. Right up here I was. Al, he yelled at the horses, you know, and I hung on the reins and pulled it out. Well,
And that time,
took me over there to the shanty and they stripped the clothes right off. And they had that little round stove there.
I know.
Filled it up with slabs there.
And that was the time that Irwin
Put me in there and they
And Tony
drove the
Cliff.
clothes off there and
and
Al had a bottle of
Irvin
liquor.
Hall.
He gave me a shot of it.
They went to
No, I
Georgia.
never took any liquor before that.
I don't know how they
never
got into it, but they went to Georgia and they see this rig that John was talking about. And
I
they
never caught a bit of cold.
They got the idea and
Dragged
the
the clothes down,
prince,
went right back up.
and they came up to Guy Hall, and Guy Hall made the run-in frame, and as you say, they got the motor, and they worked right along, at least even worked with them. And they kept that going, and when they did, boy, that was the greatest machine. Boy, did that work swell.
Joe Levitt,
So-
Thank you.
So, then, boy, they could cut the ice. They
Oh, boy,
could cut all the ice you wanted, and it was a beautiful working rig. But that's why it came about, Irvin.
Yeah.
Trucks from the farmers got to putting up that ice.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then it went on for quite a few years, and farmers would be out haying, you know, and they'd come in tired, and they would go into the house, and they'd pick up that cover. They'd say, well, I guess that ice will hold on till morning or so. Well, then you know what happened. It didn't. So the Boston
I'm not
Board,
fussy, I just-
not right now.
You're afraid
So-
of getting fat, Pop.
So then the Boston Board of Health come around, and it wasn't 40. It wasn't getting 40 in a lot of places. So then, in order to sell milk, you had to have an electric unit put in.
Yeah.
And they even, that's when they put the ice house, a lot of the ice into the band. They had a big ice house right in the middle of the potato store.
Yeah, it belonged to the railroad.
Great big one.
Two of them down there.
Two of them.
Yeah, I guess it was.
And
Great.
they had to take a fellow together the milk. They go and throw on some cakes of ice. They chop it all up amongst the can. Oh, how the truck drivers ate it. And they made the company bought some great big canvases that went over them big trucks, and they were that thick. And they go out and get the milk, and that's to keep it canvassed up and everything. So your ice business was more or less gauged by, at that point, by milk business.
Oh, yeah.
That was all it was, really.
But of course, the summer people were using the ice too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, that's
Well, you
what-
didn't have refrigeration then, did you?
No.
I mean,
No,
all the
They
homes
had
had to
just
have
the
ice.
old refrigerators.
Yeah.
all the
But
refrigeration.
at that time, when I was worked there, we'd, well, you take it on this end, you know, Mitchell's in there.
Yeah.
It'd take us a day to fill the ice houses down here up on this end. We'd always come up
Yeah.
and fill one day.
Where was it?
Where was it? Well, all the ice houses, the
Yeah, but I
little
mean-
ones.
Where were the little ones around the lake?
All around, there was Coolidge's and Mitchell's and
Jennings.
Watchman's down there and
Jennings used to
Armstrong's
have a lot
and
of
all of those too. there.
Wasn't it Jennings? Wasn't it a big ice house at
Well,
Jennings?
Jennings,
that wasn't
the
until afterwards.
Oh.
The ice
Well, I
house
went down to, for that creek.
just the other side of Black
Village,
Point
yeah.
there.
But boy,
It
he
generally
took a lot
take
of
us,
ice.
so probably put there 2 weeks to fill that
But
in
you
there, and
see-
then they'd fill the ice, the small ones around there too.
You see, in the creamy, you had the creamy had one even after, and then it got wild that went out.
Yeah,
So Irwin knew that was his big ice days were over, so he sold out to John LaPlante. John LaPlante took it, and
Yeah.
when we finished our ice route around the lake, John LaPlante took it, and then he run it for a year or two, and then Furlands run it. But they only went 2 days a week and walked.
Did each farmer fill his own?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I said, Mr. Brown
Yeah.
called up. And I should imagine,
The railroad used had a very big,
I should imagine probably that he took on Mr. Jackson, that's why, well,
And then they had
Robert Wilson.
the big one there, the messes there in the village there.
Yeah.
Before he filled that one.
Yeah.
He had Archie Kermison.
How much would those cakes weigh?
Oh my
I don't
God.
know.
They were double cakes.
Yeah,
Not 3 one way and 32 the other way. One to drop the bend there and the
they were
other draw.
what, 32
Yeah,
by
but
what?
when you filled your small ice houses, like around your
You
leg,
take half a
you
cake,
take half a cake, they were
half of the big ones there.
16 by 16 about.
Yeah.
But,
There you
uh,
go.
So the double
the
cakes
big
were
ones,
32.
To get your
the double cakes were
day
32 by
pay
16.
drop to the bend there, you had to draw, you had to go to work and draw, you see, that'd be 25, you had to make 25 to a load, you see. You had to draw 50 cakes, you want to make
They'd draw
$5
50
a day.
cakes, and we made 3 trips and got $5 a day.
Well, you got so much cake. You got so much
3
cake.
trips to bend, I never made 3.
I did.
Made 2 trips, all
Yeah.
I could ever make.
You
At
got,
that time, there was Elsa Gebbie, there was Linville Brown, there was Patch East Hardwick, and there was Claire Knapp, there was Ingles' team, and there was my own, and there was Lumsden up there that drawed.
We always had an ice bin full of ice. That must have been quite a haul, to take it up
Early
there,
days
one
of
load
haul.
a day must be.
I know Dad did too.
This is the time, and then they went, oh, we made 3 trips.
And you did this with the sled? Down to the
horses
bend?
and sleigh, yeah.
When I was on there.
The wagon she drove.
Did you fill up all
Right,
the
right,
ice
because-
houses on the lake during the
I know
summer?
that was one of my dad's.
From the big storage places or
No,
in the
no,
winter?
they filled them.
In the winter.
He said it took a day to fill the ones on this end, the Coolidges, the Armstrongs and so forth. They save a day to fill
They
them.
pullers came to fill the ice house or not. But they came and one know if I wanted to draw and so I
Everybody
went
had
home.
to
I
have
said,
ice,
well,
there
I'd
was no
like to.
electricity, you see.
I know I can, so I
Yeah.
didn't see my dad.
Everyone had a
I
ice
told him I'd
box.
like to draw, well, he said, it's gonna make an awful day, but if you wanna do it, he said, we'll go 50-50. So I spoke
That
to
was
Rupert
nice,
Peake.
because you could always
He
have
was
ice
going
cream every
Yeah.
weekend, you
And
had
he
ice
would
cream,
come down
homemade
and
ice cream.
pitch my hay out,
Because you
feed
had
the
the
horses
ice,
in the
yeah.
van.
Yeah.
And it would be dark, many,
And you
many
lived on a
nights.
farm, you had to milk the cream too,
Get
and
around
they
the,
I
ate.
do
the bend in the
Boy.
village.
I drew one.
They worked hard,
called
and
up
I
the
guess that's
standard.
why they didn't get so fat.
Big
It's like people do now,
And,
you know, it was hard work, Ed,
they,
everything was by hand.
We'd start out at dark, because with the trips we had to make, they had the ice all ready for us at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And because I know one time I spilled part of the lawn, I worked through my dinner, went back up the lake, and put it on, and I remember it was dark, and the teams were ahead of me, it was dark down at the bend, and we were unloading. Now the room, he hollered out, "Them are they ever gonna stop?" He says that. And somebody said, "Well, John Allen's back here." And the Lord, and boy, did I give him a look at him. He said, "Didn't they ever happen again like that?" He said, "You just make your one load and go home."
I lost part of the look.
Was right on the corner just before you went into the bridge down there, Lord.
At that time, you take it, I remember Patch did, and, I don't know, who was it there? Elfie Gebbie, Andrew, what's the name did, Linville Brown did, and Monkston run the sleds. And,
You know what
I
rocks
think-
and run sleds are?
well, the runner, the iron part is a little narrow like that, but it goes up like that, you see, the runner, so it doesn't
Go
sink
into
down into
snow.
the snow. You take a 3-beam sled with the runner, it's narrow like that, it'll sink right down in, you see. Makes it go hard. Well, I remember was going down through there, and that was the last of the drawing into March there. Bare ground all the way, so down the hill. And I can't think whether Delphi gave me a patch ahead of me. Anyway, to 3-beam, Monks and Runners sled. Right down to the Catholic Church was this culvert. They turned that, went onto that, don't you know, keep on to snow. Well, I thought sure I could do it too, because I had 3-beam sleds. Good sleds too, and they did. boy, I hit into that culvert and away that ice went. Right on some culverts there. And just as that happened, clarinet, well, I don't know whether you fellows know clarinet.
Oh, yeah, worked in the bank.
Huh? No, he worked for Will Ingalls. He never worked in any bank.
No, he doesn't.
God
Well,
knows.
that.
Yeah.
No.
No, he never did.
Same thing.
Anyway, he stopped right there. He says, "Oh God, Bernie," he said, "you stay right there. Don't you move those horses at all." He says, "And I'll turn right around on Hicks and hitch right onto you just as quick as I on Lud." He went down on Lud and came back on his horses. He's on ahead of me, don't you know? Away we went. I'll never forget that. I'm sure after that I
Well, there
didn't
used to
turn
be a
out.
lot of those kiss me, we called them kiss me
Oh,
quicks,
yeah.
you know,
Oh, they
so
were
that,
sparkers.
if you
Oh,
didn't
my
go get,
God,
you know
yeah.
what those are?
Cradle hole.
Yeah, cradle
They
hole.
was hefty.
Well, when they was
Shovel
doing
them
the
out.
ice, that's
Shovel
when
them
these
out.
tied it. The
I've
town
seen
used
people
to have
get
a,
stuck in them too.
Yeah.
the town had a man shoveling from Tallman's Woods out to the Four Corners.
Yeah.
Filling them holes up.
And that would be hard with a team, wouldn't it? I mean,
Oh,
They had to
well,
down the band, they had to go, they cut them out.
cut them out. They used to cut them out.
They had a sled too, fixed right, because with big blades on it.
Yeah,
You remember?
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
That
they
they
used to use it in the spring of the
Yeah,
year.
they cut the
Run the
Ridges and pour it in
ridge
the
down, I
middle.
mean, you know, where their sled went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those, I didn't see one of those.
Last time.
We
I
kids
saw
used to
them,
like those.
yeah, for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have.
Go fast and-
When we went to church, we'd always, the one horse would really jump into every one of them.
Yeah.
I used to have a horse,
Take
the
off.
son of a gun, he'd jump him, he wouldn't walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took him out for a ride now.
Where they had some bad ones going through down there. All the big teams were drawing ice.
Now, this was all done by hand, wasn't it? This, taking the ice out of the water, I mean, getting it? No, what did you do?
They had a
Elevator.
Oh, you had
endless chain there,
Oh.
the motor on it. I took it
oh,
right there.
and you put them up on that.
It's like an elevator, like a hay elevator type.
How did you get them up onto the chain?
Right down the water.
Right
Oh,
on the
just-
water.
Yeah, you just
Yeah, but
push
you
it.
must have to poke them or something.
Oh,
You
yeah.
keep pushing.
Ice,
I got that.
Oh,
ice
ice hookers.
And they bring them right up to
I wish
the
we had
edge of the
pictures of
bank
that.
and
It's
then
hard to
cut.
understand just
Just
why
had
they
somebody
did that.
had
The same lane.
So someone-
when
Well,
you
they have.
unloaded.
I seen one this morning. She's going to try to get it, but she
Who
went.
got it?
On the lot, she went to get out of her pocketbook she had for years and years, and she glued it in and couldn't get out.
Who is this?
Colin Lyle.
Oh,
It's the only picture that I can find. I called up the girls and I called up Stella, the other night. And she just kind of laughed. You don't realize it. Well, she said, John, she said, we were just little girls.
well, sure.
Go ahead.
And I hadn't thought when I called.
Oh, yeah.
But it's funny, but what wonderful pictures they could have been. This is the only picture I've been to. I've been to 6 people trying to get pictures. The only picture I see on the line, I've asked her and she said she would look. Because I think it means so much you can get
Yeah.
pictures.
Well, now I don't understand how you got the cakes. You came up there, did you, back your sleds
Yeah.
underneath the
There's a
thing?
platform there, right there.
Platform.
Yeah.
Put
And,
them right on.
You had to be careful and grab all of them out of there unless they push them right out the platform.
Right on
Or
the
they come
platform.
up faster than you
But
can
yeah.
pull them. Oh, yeah.
After you got
did you
started
get
this
that?
way.
Did you have to have special clothing?
No.
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 Well,
After you
George
started,
said the other day, they sent him home to get wool overalls on.
Oh, that's
Remember?
right, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
First day I went down, I remember I had cotton overalls on.
Yeah.
Cotton band.
No, I had to
Well,
roll.
said, by God, she said, you tell your folks to get you some wool in overalls. Well, I did.
I
And that was the thing. I mean, you know it.
had wool.
Oh, yeah.
You're going down
and
there.
I thought.
Well,
I
20
don't
below, there
all
was
the
20
things
below
I
many
had to
I
times.
do.
was
I worked on
down
the
through
ice.
that 20 below in the morning, you know.
With the wind blowing.
Well,
What
really,
the
when you
chill
saw the
must have
wrong
been,
way, like it,
wind
Now
chill.
there's a-
that's what you saw at first.
Nobody
Then
thought
you
anything
went
about it.
going crossway,
Yeah.
and you didn't saw. I can't quite remember. When you saw the long way, or both, you didn't go clear to the bottom.
Oh, no.
You left
no,
about
no.
an inch or so.
Oh, no, yeah. Depending on how thick
Then-
the ice was. Yeah.
Then when you went to go crossways, you put we used to put the tanks in, drive in them wooden tanks so the water wouldn't
Run into
run in
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Well, then when you went to cut it this way, you would cut the width, say, maybe 4 or 6 cakes and make a big piece and float that over to the edge where you've been cutting, and then you could take and hit here and hit there. And then when you break, and so down I said right along, when you used to go to dances, I heard you many, many times. Saturday night, you danced till you heard roosters crowing, and then you figured it was time to come home. Well, I said, I was just becoming of age, well, I was of age the last time. But now I said, I'm going over to that dance over there, and I said, I'm going to stay in 1 car. I said, I'm going to come home. But I said, you don't want to expect to see me probably till around 2 o'clock. Now I said, I'm going to do it, and that's that. So that's how I go, and started over. And finally, when I didn't say much anything, so I came home. And I stayed over at 1 o'clock. They didn't have much, but they didn't like it.
I remember old Dave Spear, you know. And he used to have a little hall over his backyard, my kitchen, I mean, that's woodshed. And just saying with,
We have a wall in there that's,
Walden's,
on
The
the,
hotel line.
yeah, that floor
right
used to.
there, yeah, and down the bend, there used to be down there, we used to go dances down there to the, where the hotel used to be there, they had a hall there.
We used to, they come in our home. and
I'd
take
like
the
to know how many
stove out.
dances that Arthur Brown and I used to go to. Oh my gosh.
Dorothy
I bet
was
you-
dancing,
That fella and I would go to dances. and
in the
take a
church
stick.
was dancing frowned upon. In
At
those,
that time?
yeah.
I don't know. I doubt it is.
I'm not sure, but did you come home at 12 o'clock on Saturday night?
No, I didn't.
No, I meant, did you stop dancing? Didn't they, as I remember, you
Oh,
stopped
right.
dancing at 12
12
o'clock.
I think
That's
so,
right.
yeah, I think they
You
did.
did?
Yeah.
That's not too far.
Yeah.
And another thing you didn't do was play cards
Well,
on
no,
Sunday.
but I mean,
No.
No, you never
They
played
did.
cards on Sunday.
Well, it was right down this town, they probably stopped at 12 o'clock, and we broke it up to Albany, up the creek. And there was about 6 couples. My dad used to say, always used to go for that. Healthy, Gebbie,
Yeah.
you feel.
But what I was wondering was, how did the church
Well,
feel at that time? As
Well-
I remember it, they frowned upon anything on Sunday after 12 o'clock.
well,
right?
oh, yes, yes, they did.
And playing cards and,
Of course they did.
I
My
remember
dad
they
didn't
gave
go
us
to
to
church,
the
probably that
radio
time,
on
didn't
Sunday.
think much of
oh,
it.
they couldn't,
no.
yeah,
They gave
it was
us
very
some,
strict. The church
couldn't
really
have-
ruled
Oh,
them.
they couldn't have done. They couldn't even play cards.
No,
they
you
couldn't
couldn't
have
play
it.
cards
They were
on
young, could
Sunday.
never play cards up here.
No, sir.
And then lately, after he got married, boy, that's all he did, play cards and go to the dances. What a great time he and his wife had.
Sure.
I wonder when that changed. Because when I was growing up, as I remember it, it was very strict. The
Oh,
church was very strict. And
I couldn't even go sliding on the cross Sunday, and I couldn't go swimming. I couldn't go to a baseball game.
No, nobody did. They didn't have baseball games on Sunday, did they?
Yes,
Yes.
they did.
They
yes.
did?
Come on.
Henry Allen had the band down here at the team, from the band. There was fellows in it from Standard. This is another thing kind of amuses me too. And they had Srinath down here at the village, his brother. I can't remember his name now, but he moved and he went up to Newport.
Jerry.
Jerry. And he was a gifted pitcher. There was 2-3 years here, they trimmed everything. He went up to Barton Fair and played up there. And you know where they used to go down and play and have the play up? But down where Morris Teresia has that nice piece of corn right beside the road. That's where they had to go. That's where they played back baseball and practice and
Well, I bet you
had
were-
their games down there.
You were considered sinners if you went to them. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, oh yes, you
You
were.
were.
You
Well,
were.
you
Pretty
know, the
bad.
time we built our barn over here at Cedar Rock, that time we built the barn over there.
No.
We thought we'd try to earn a little money with it. I mean, you know. So we went to our the first dance we had.
What?
We gave it to the Red Cross.
I know.
And gosh, it was quite a lot over $100.
I
we got.
know.
And then the next one,
That was a lot for those days.
I forget
Yeah, wow.
what cross it was the Red Cross to some other charity we get for it. And then the next one, I kept it and bought a hay loader.
Yeah.
And then the next one, we bought a side delivery. And then we had another one, but it didn't pan out so good. And that was the last one.
That was the summer when the summer
Yeah.
people were there and the young people
We
came.
quit then and put the hay in the barn. But we did, by heck.
Everybody was building a barn, they'd always.
They'd always have
They were one
barn
barn
dance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
had them all that for 2-3 years.
Always had a barn.
Coleman's barn, keep the hay in.
Yeah.
No, my folks,
Sure we did.
boy, they were strict. But he was, our dad always won on Sunday morning. He said, well, you go to church and Sunday school, and he said, I'll let you slide a little when you get home. Or cross fight every weekend. Fight is when you have your store, you know, weekend. From Sunday morning, sure enough, in the spring of the year down there, like across the whole highway 8 go. The time we went to church, late it was in Sunday school, the time we went out back to the house, going across, the crust was all gone.
Yeah. Mhm. I did.
Well, it seems to me I remember about the Campbells over here, people talking about how they had just, all they could do was read the Bible on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
At the Campbells,
Yeah.
that was
We
all
went
they
on
were
it
allowed to do.
We went on a church drive out for Gebbie and I one Sunday. And this was very, very, just recently. No, you know, they were up there. But they didn't like it a little bit. 'Cause we came
And the
in there.
thing is,
And
they
they wouldn't
didn't
sign the
even,
card, but they signed it, so they gave it to us. They dropped it on the Monday. And talking about Mr. Rutledge up in there.
Yeah.
They were, boy, you didn't do
Yeah,
much Sundays.
Well, you didn't even chores, you didn't do any extra chores
No,
either. You
well,
wouldn't clean out the cat pens
that's
or
right.
anything else. You did
Well,
that before Sunday.
One Sunday,
You only
we
fit.
all used to plan to go up Sundays up to my dad's folks, that's
You
where they
could
lived.
visit.
Up in back, no, they were in that street, but in back in Lewis Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad had got some pigs. Mr. Rutledge was a great man. He raised everything, he raised it, just tops. So my dad spoke to us a couple of pigs. We were up there, and Dad had a thing, he said, well, he says, we're up here, he says, I don't know, but he says, I think I'll call him up, and you boys, or just little boys. He says, I think we'll go up across and bring out the pigs. So we called him up, and he was kind of cool. Yes, he says, you can come up and look at him. So, well, yes, he says, you come along, Barney. So we went up, got up, pigs, and each of them in the bag. We had quite a ways to lug them, boy, I'll never forget that, just for yesterday. Dad went, offered to pay for them, he says, no, Barney, he says, you wait till some other time, he said, maybe the first 2 weeks.
Imagine being that strict compared to what it is today. I mean, nobody pays much attention. You do whatever you want to do on Sunday today. But
Well, as Helen and Willie, I know when the girls were graduating from the high school, the girls were going over to Eden Lake. They had a camp. Some of them knew somebody over there, so they got the camp. And Helen all at once couldn't go. And she said her father wouldn't let her go. So Raymond opened the falls, went in, and the only reason he didn't want her to go because he knew that she was swimming on Sunday. Oh, same with me, I could go swimming on Sunday. My folks wouldn't.
how we get onto this subject? I don't know. Interesting, anyway,
Just a good old.
because it's different.
Well, the ice business has gone apart anyway, it's all
Yeah.
mechanical.
Going to pot, right. A lot of things going to pot. There's a lot of things, boy.
But I remember.
Going to pot before this world straightens out, I tell you that. I am awful glad I've seen the best times in the
Same
same with
here.
mine. Well, that's what I'm looking at.
That's what I'm looking at.
I know you folks think I'm crazy, but
No,
you
no.
can think so if you want to, but I've seen the best times.
I'm
Just wait and see. You're
We've seen
going
the
to find a
profit
lot
more
of trouble
change
before this
than
country
most
gets on
anyone
its
else.
feet.
We're never gonna get on its feet,
A
Ernie.
lot of, it will in time, but it's going to take an
No.
awful long time
No,
before
it
it does.
ain't, it ain't.
I think.
You want to live in the family.
It's,
No, the
What's that?
farmers. The farmers
You
will
are
be gone.
farmers are going to the deuce with it.
Leo just wanted to switch.
In the paper today,
He
there's
does
a
want to
fellow
look
in
at it.
Norwell killed himself, shot himself.
Put you on
You
this
know,
Farmer
farm
in
so
Orwell.
well. On this farm so well. You know, that,
But he wasn't,
government.
he wasn't due for bankruptcy, I don't know, he just.
He wasn't going to,
You got a bid,
he
but
wasn't.
Yeah.
like you made the
No.
last
He
few
So what
years.
did
Yeah.
It had to change
Well,
from
when you
cows
get
to
there,
raising pigs.
Well, his pigs were eating, they got disease,
But
and he
his
got
health-
You got
the
a
crap.
health
bid for the
was
damn
bad.
lot, you get your
Yeah.
money.
And
back.
if your health's bad,
Willie,
things like that work on you.
do you know
lose
what's gonna
control
happen
of
maybe
yourself.
in that 5 years?
Yeah, milk be coming out of them.
Sure to.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So
Milk.
in 5 years, you really don't know what's gonna
That's what
happen.
I was telling you.
I don't know. I think if I had a farm, I'd stick by it. I
That's
really
what I
do.
told you. I said, why don't you wait
If he's,
wait till they're gonna buy, somebody's gonna sell.
sure.
So the milk might come up.
Yeah.
That's why I've been trying to tell him. You know, you gotta have-
Financially, if he's able to hold on, you know, not have to go to work and borrow too much money and like that. I don't know. A young fella, I think he'd better hold on.
Yeah.
I really do.
Because
It's, you take it
You
back.
know how we got started in farming, bought a farm, how we did it? Bernie's father took out an insurance policy of what, $1,000?
60. Yeah,
When he was 18,
16.
16, he did it for all his children. And so by the time Bernie was 26, I believe, when we were married.
When we come 21, we had been here.
Yeah, when he came 21, they had to pay, each boy had to pay for their own. I guess he didn't take out one for credit, did he? Just the boys.
I don't think so. I thought-
He probably, at that time, he didn't have any money left. Well, anyway, what I was saying, we got our start by, we put that down to Hyde Park Bank, didn't we? Wasn't it
Yeah.
Hyde Park?
Yeah.
And they let us borrow on it at 3%, wasn't it?
3.5%, I picked up a.
And we bought the farm
other day.
by putting that insurance
well,
policy down there. And
I was lucky when I bought my farm. I didn't never give a damn cent down, and I got it for $25 a month.
yeah. But I bet Bernie's father never realized what he was doing for him
No,
when he,
Yeah, I was lucky.
and $1,000 was a lot of money in those
Oh, that's
days.
the way my
Because
son grew.
we paid only 7,000 something when we bought this place, and that was all the cows and all the machinery, and of course the house didn't have a bathroom, but that wasn't this far, right? Yeah, right here.
Yeah, worked out.
I'll have to ask him.
But
What did we pay for the farm when we bought it?
this farm,
Yeah,
like 7,500.
yes, and you sold off the tractor, and because you had your own to bring,
Yeah,
so you sold off the
I
tractor.
sold it with off down, so cut it down 1,500.
So we really paid,
6,000.
yeah,
well, that was in the late 40s, 50s, when was it?
And that was in 43.
Same year I bought my
43.
farm.
but imagine,
Yeah.
200 acres
Yeah.
with all the cows and calves
19
and
milking cows.
19 million cows.
Bought it from Mount.
And machinery.
Yeah.
But as I say, the house didn't have a bathroom. They put all the money into the
Oh,
There is in the barn.
into the
you
barn.
do remember that?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He
That-
came right back the next morning. He
He
wanted
came,
to buy that.
I was over, Laura, once she bought it, why, she packed the suitcase, went right straight through. The fella that put me, get my head to show, when Laura said, she says, you know, this is the only place I like. You know, she brought some of the kids home here from school one night,
Yeah.
see?
And I like this
And
one.
she liked the place. She says, that's the only place in town I like. But he says, I don't know. Well, there's a fella in Harding, real estate fella, and we knew him real well. And he says, I don't know. He says, you know, I know of 2 different ones that had that farm all bought. And he says he backed out on it.
Yeah, I know.
So he says, I don't know. He says, whether you'll be able to do it or not. But he says, if you go up and see him, he says, and he decided to sell, you go to work and make out a paper. And you sign it, and he signed it, and you keep on.
And he said to pay, what did we pay down?
And then-
$50 maybe?
Huh?
How much did we pay down? Where,
Paid
that,
down
to buy
$100.
that, $100
Paid
to
down
bind it.
$100.
Buying the wine, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
And,
that. I know.
That was money. And so, I brought it up and gave it to him. The next morning was Friday morning, and he was over the house.
No, I went to New York.
You went to New York,
As soon
and he
as
was
it
over
was
the house,
signed.
and you went left right off
Yeah,
that night for
because
New
you see, we
York.
were working for Virginia Herbert,
And
Oh, I see.
and we had to give her
So-
notice.
he
that
was
we
over
were-
at the house the next morning, well, quite early. And he says, you know, I want to back out on this. I says, no, Elmont, I won't do it.
Let's not call in names. Elmont's still living.
Oh,
isn't
my,
he?
sorry.
That's
So
where
it don't make no difference,
Yeah.
we all know better.
I get
Yeah,
you.
God,
But
Oh, yeah.
anyway, on Sunday morning, he was back over there again. I was just coming down out of the barn to finish the chores. He says, you know, my wife didn't sleep, my kids haven't slept. He didn't say it yet. He says, I want to buy this farm and give you back your money and call it quits. I says, no. I says, Laura's gone to New York, and I says, I'm moving out of here if I have to put my goods right out in the road. And he came away. He hasn't spoken day this day.
Did he go from here up there to
He
where
went-
Earl Anson's?
No,
No, he went to Carl Fredbrook's place.
Yeah.
On me.
No,
no, he went to the village. He
My
went
He
boy,
was
away.
with
worked
the
for
apartment.
No, he was working for Brown before that.
Yeah,
That's right,
before
too.
that.
Because- Yeah,
he went from here up to Carl's place, didn't he?
I think he did, because
Yeah, I know he
I worked with him down the village there one winter, sawing lumber there, and worked for Drown there, I did, one winter.
I think he was living up there when the
I guess he
Kate
was,
Lawrence
yeah,
were married. I
was
think
one.
they were living up
Yeah.
there.
They were living.
That was real
that's where
funny. He
went.
hasn't spoken to Bernie,
Yeah.
but I had the children in
remember.
school and he's always
They
been nice
talk
to
about
me.
calls.
Yeah,
You
because
were
there was
there.
some cows and fresh.
Yes, I was there.
And-
I
and one
did the
of you
milking
have
up
calves,
here while,
very good
in the
calves.
transition.
Now I'm on the.
Bernie did the milking
And
here
when
and
I
I did the
came, they
milking
weren't
at Cedar
here.
Rock Farm until we could
So
get
I
up
just
here.
spoke to Elmont.
But,
And Elmont says, those are my calves. I says,
he was
"No."
really disgusted because,
Well, it seems that, Oscar Shepherd's a lawyer, I had. Oscar had me down to the village, and Elmont went out and spoke to him about it. I told him what the story was. Well, he says, you know, those calves aren't yours at all. He says, these were drawn up, he says, before,
Yeah.
and he says, born. So he says, those calves aren't yours at all. And he, I didn't ask him to pay for the calves, but he sold the calves to whoever it was on the old Dave Smith farm up here. He moved to
Brock.
Brock, Frank Brock.
Frank Brock.
Yeah, that's who it was. He sold them to him, I know.
well, it was a
That's-
sad thing
it
because
was
you
sad.
see,
It
but
was sad.
there was 3 times that he said he wanted to sell, that his wife was tired of living up on this hill in the winter with all the snow and so forth. And it was really too bad, but he really was, I know Bernie had to be away and one of the cows were sick and I had to call the vet and he wouldn't even hold the cow for Wakefield never could do anything alone, you know. And I remember I had to come out and hold the cow because Elton was, Tate was
Yeah.
so mad about it that he wouldn't even do
Yeah.
anything. And it was too bad.
But you couldn't ask for Bella.
But they never
After
moved
you-
into the village until late years.
Yeah, but
You can ask for Bella.
you can't do that 3 times back out.
Elmo.
I worked around one.
Oh, Elmo. He's a good fellow, but that was just a
You
point.
could, I mean,
He wanted and didn't,
Yeah.
and then wanted. And
He hadn't made up his mind.
Hadn't made up his mind, and after he did make up his mind, well, just faded.
Yeah.
Too late.
I worked on winter down the mill for Drown.
Huh?
I was working with him down the mill on Leo.
he was, yeah.
I worked for him down that one.
To have having trouble old man drowned.
Yeah,
Let's not talk about that now.
It's all getting recorded.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's all getting recorded.
No.
Oh, no,
I remember when
We
I was
don't
coming
want-
up and drawing
I
ice,
would-
the
why can't
band was
you
coming up,
take out
coming in the
the
village
name?
just
I
before
think-
noon.
If people
Yeah.
know that,
Mr.
that's
Brown,
okay,
he'd always
but I don't
walk
care
up
about spreading
And
it
in
around.
great
Or
big
take out the
guns
whole,
and they're
I
all
could
put
take
their
it
head
on,
up on
yeah,
the pole.
because that doesn't have anything
He
to
jumped
do.
on, rolled up, says, why are you going to have your dinner? Why are you putting your horses up? I said, this is I think it's my first day, and I said, I haven't any place to put them. He said, you remember? I said, John, he says, you take your team and drive me right up in front of my place and take your horses and come in the barn and set and eat your dinner there. Said, I want you to. He said, we'd like to let them in them, let them a whole week or more. Don't forget that. That's it.
He was all right. He was awful slow on the page. He got to keep teasing.
Yeah.
Get so much of it.
This is just chatter. Turn that off. I think this is just chatter.
It's interesting though.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't think anybody wants to hurt other people. It's bygone. And we don't want to really.
Oh, we're up here on ice.
Yeah.
I didn't stay on the ice very well.
Doggone, yeah, I've done everything but ice. The ice is gone.
You start off on roads, I thought.
Yeah, I think you
I
did.
didn't
Well, 'cause
last
I was
long.
up here last week talking
So you
to
already
Bernie
got a lot
about
of
roads. I think that's why you picked that up, Starwood.
And I do know that was a wonderful thing that they had put in them, had the word of frame, put right up at the end of the ice houses.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. They sat down, we had these big poles, and they were probably 7 by 6s or 7 by 8s, and they took one side and whittled it off, squared it up, and then they got an iron. The front end of it, like a scrab up there. One end was blown out, and they put that right in and molded it all the way up through, and then they made a elevator, what you want to call it, went up and down, and them flanges on the elevator rode right up and down on each side, right up and down the whole length of it. And there was a pulley up at the top, and you used to ball a hole, and you put wire in the bolts on, and that's the way they held it. And then down at the base, they put on the big hard, and then they had a big pulley, round wooden pulley, and the belt went up from this up through the pulley, and then it came down on the back side, and we had a Model T motor, and they had what would come off of the sewing machine, the level,
Yeah.
wheels,
Yeah.
and trees and flange, and be a clutch,
Yeah.
and it worked just like a brake on a car. So that would come down, and that was about the height of the vehicles that came in, and they'd slide the ice on them. And this was slanted just enough in so the cake would never come back up. And they ran it right up on the middle of that, next to ice out. They had a great big hot-moving pipe. And they would run that up and down, and boy, that did work.
What a shame none of that stuff was saved. So they
Well,
have in
I'm
some
trying to get
places, they have demonstrations every,
Well, that's
in
what
a
I'm trying to-
festival or what do you call
It
it?
was on TV last week.
Yeah.
how they
Yeah.
saw
And
the
it would
time
have been
before.
nice,
Yeah.
since it
And
was.
the first one, I sting the Holly. I'm trying to find out. I've got it. It's on the plan.
But they wouldn't even
handbag.
know how to work it if they got
Oh,
it.
yes.
You would.
Oh, yes. There's one of us here at this table in 10 minutes. Be cutting ice for you, and we
Well,
put up
you
the
don't
equipment.
suppose that'll be something they could use down to the town hall or so instead
Yeah.
of buying that,
Oh, I've been thinking
Have
of
that?
I've been thinking of
Buy an
that.
elevator.
buying an elevator?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but, oh,
We've
I
been looking into getting all kinds of
I know,
material on these
Sarah.
lifts that go up the stairs.
they had a model.
And
I had a
even
fella-
had a fellow wanted
I
to
had a
come
fella
down and
call
talk with
me on the
him.
telephone here. I don't know where in Old Harry he was from, but I see these in a sporting magazine again, where you send in, and just for the do stuff, I, cross a lot of them off, send them in. I'll be a
He
star
should have
for
asked
them.
to send at least
One
the
night
price
here, I
list
got
on
this
it.
call from the telephone. I don't know where in Old Harry he's from, but he wanted to know about, he got word that I was interested in those chairlifts.
He wanted to come down,
Wanted
get
to
talk
come
with
up,
him.
demonstrate and something like
And
that.
Bernie sent it in just because he wondered if it would
Oh,
work,
dear, I wonder if
Will it
it's
work with the
good.
landing like that?
Oh, yeah, it will work with
Sure, it'll go
where it
around-
turns,
it'll go around the
but
corner.
I don't know how much they cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
go
as
around
much
the
as an
inside
elevator, I
Right.
know
Yeah.
that much.
They had the advantage of us, when they got done up there, they put their engine and everything inside, so it was. But down there, that was my job in the morning. Hell, we had an all Model T engine. There was one that had wooden square boxes. Now, what do you call it?
Magneto.
Magneto.
Sorry.
I know Mike.
He would take them out in the van, and Al would take them up to his place, put them in the back of the stove so they'd be warm. In the morning, I'd go down there. Of course, at night, you see, we drained the water. You didn't have no number 10 oil light. And when they came down in the morning, they'd stop at the creamery and get a small can of warmish water. Of course, you couldn't put it in hot water because you didn't want to crack it. And then we had some, gasoline. They had a stick with wine and old bag around.
Yes.
My God, we'd like that kerosene, and I'd put that under that little bottle, the engine. You couldn't see it inside of it. I don't know why it didn't go up, but it didn't.
They used to do the same on the ice.
Yeah, you used to do the same on the ice, but you did it wasn't that.
Well, that's interesting now. Another little tidbit about ice, how you.
And when that got to going, that was the slickest working rig that I've seen. I remember one morning, it was just about, Roy was drawing, and Max Gardner, and they were going up the lake and getting ice. Now, I wouldn't dare say the time that they left and they went back. Everything was just right. They touched that cake of ice and all the body, they didn't push it, went right in the sink. And I was going just as fast as I could. It was once, twice the cake, and come back, and I didn't know, I had to wait a little on that. And I can't remember, but Erwin told me that night how many cakes of ice they moved down there that day. I know he came down in the middle of the day and he said, boy, he said, I'm telling you, he says, what's going on down here? He said, them fellows up there, he says, getting sweating, he said, getting that ice got. But it was just one of them days, just right. And they had, Al the Brewer had the boss of that. We had about 1, 2, 3, 4. We had about 6 to 7 men in the top of the packing. You start your first layer, and then they had these trimmers. These they bought. They were a great big thing that wide, and they were that long. The teeth, they had about 8 teeth on them, and they were sharp. And then they came up over, and you had a band here, and you had a big handle come up over on a circle. And we called them the trimmers. And when if they put the layer in, they'd use them to chip it off. Of course, when you got finished up, you always had kind of a bad place in the center, so you could keep your chippings, and you had to cut the cakes off and to fill out the center.
Oh, yeah.
Then when you started your next layer, you went vice versa. Instead of going this way, you went this way.
It's almost like
And
laying a tile floor.
That's what tied it, and you had to keep that up, because as fast as they were coming in, after we went up this elevator, they had another chute inside the milk, in the ice house. Because them were long ice houses, I wouldn't say, but I bet they were 60, 80 feet long.
Oh, yeah.
And they had 2 of them, and they had them down the bend. And they had iron strips in the elevators, and they'd go up and hit in there, and they'd slide right along down. And Al would always holler, one man go to cake, he wanted 2 men on it. 2 men do a cake, you'd hear him go up the village. They had the ice tongs with a little longer handles, and they followed Grandma on them. And then they had ones with a small one. And he done the pushing, and he done the steering, and you slip them right in, and just as perfect most of the time as could be.
You didn't put anything between the cakes or anything, you just packed them tight together.
Just packed them tight together, and they were cut so good up there with that saw that unless in the first time in the morning when they broke out, you might have a few. But you see, cutting it as deep. They probably left, now you correct me, you probably left pretty an inch, did you figure, on the ball when you went the long way?
Oh yeah, more.
More. You just hit them, and they bring them over before they went up. You just hit them, and they would crack just as perfect. As good
It's quick.
Of course, so we went over and filled up the ice house, and we took it over. It was a little bit different. We got a rig, it was with a horse.
Yeah.
And the first...
You've done the messes all the time. Yeah, the messes, that's what they use all the time, filling that on. Down here
What,
the horse.
Oh, yeah.
Same
But I mean, cutting it. Yeah, I remember. The last year I was working in the creamery, and they had to mill the rank, went curved into the road, remember? And they shoot them up, put in about 4 cakes of ice, and pull it up for the horse, and had the iron thing went around.
Isn't it too bad that they don't have movies of that?
I know it.
Linda Brown, they had a beautiful
There
dry
weren't
horse.
any.
You remember her? She'd always bring the cream down.
Mm.
But boy, when they were filling that, they had to wait. Boy, that horse was afraid I'd go out and leave it, and then it wouldn't really stand. When she got it turned around, going, oh boy, would that thing look, boy, she had a beautiful
He liked
dry
his
horse.
horses all right.
Yeah.
Boy, Linda was and but that's the way they filled it. Going up that way.
Yeah, it was wonder why you left that farm up there to go by that one track.
I never could understand it.
Another
The darndest thing I used to take feed up when I worked with feeders. Had to go through the milk house, up a long stairway, and through another room, and then drop the feed in front of the cows. And I thought to myself, one handy banner.
And he finally died in a boarding house or something, a great big house on the crossover up to his Calvin.
You remember the dance hall down at the Bend, probably used to
Oh
go there.
my God.
That's one place my folks didn't want me to go. I went down one
I
night.
never see anything bad about that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, they
Nine
did.
Lumsden, I used to go
Why,
down
yeah.
there quite often.
Yeah.
Just saying, the one up there,
Drive down there, the
Walden, Four Corners
horse and
there.
buggy.
That was tougher than down the band. There's a
Where was
room.
that?
One before when you were going upstairs, there was
South
nobody
Walden,
back
where
there. You were in
there's
front
a
of
dance hall of old, well, it used to be kind of a hotel.
Yeah.
the hotel bar.
Then we used to go down East Paddock, one down there.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh, I used to go down there.
I remember one night Jimmy Fondé and I went down East Side to dance. And we took Edna Willie, no, let me see, yeah, Edna Willie and, oh gosh, one of the room girls.
Evelyn, probably.
No, I think it was, what's the other one, not, in between. We got down there and then I remember we danced quite a lot and they got pretty interested, these guys from Hackney. Jimmy and I wasn't dancing, they were dancing between us so much. Even got time to come home. And Jimmy and I decided to come home, so we did, and we got some right there. We found out afterwards, they had quite a job getting home.
Yeah.
I know who's
That's
going
not
on.
a
You
business.
said-
Well, they didn't go with you again, did they?
There's Frank Russell.
No, I don't know if they did.
And,
I don't think we asked them again, did we?
there was Frank Russell.
Is he still alive?
Richardson.
Huh?
Jimmy Fondé.
Yes, he is in
He is
Connecticut.
still alive.
Yeah, in Connecticut. I saw Mark last, yeah. Mark was up last fall. I was talking with him, yeah.
What was that place up in Crash Spring? Well, they used to have the dances, it was tough. Oh, I was supposed to go up there, but I did one night. Took Harriet King. I wouldn't have gone, but we took Harriet King. I shouldn't say about this, but she went with Dr. Libby's son for a good many years. All at once, he got in there, picked the girl up here. It was Shattuck's boy down there. Such a golfer. Oh boy, Harriet was all upset. So she wanted us to take her up there to see.
Crispy, what would that be? Just
Twin Bridges.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, I know.
Oh, yeah, Twin Bridges, that
Boy,
was
that was
joint
tough.
down there.
Boy, that
That was a tough
was tough.
place.
After many years, you had to put up the window. You couldn't walk out the ladder. They're all down on the floor. Boy, that was the toughest place.
A tough place meant
Well,
that
I
they
went
went
up that night
drink
with them.
there.
Yeah.
And after
Terrible.
that night, the
That's
state
drink.
come and they shut it down.
Yeah.
Boy, I was awful
And
careful.
probably
Yeah,
two
right,
fights.
did that.
Well, you know what happened is Red King, and he was quite a scrapper.
Yeah.
Red King
Figured
and
that.
Art Bacon's brother.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, they planned it up every weekend, get somewhere, and they'd get 3 or 4, and they'd have a brawl every single. Boy, did they used to.
Well, those fellows from Hardwick were tough anyway.
Well,
We were
they-
told over
Yeah,
in Craftsbury,
I
the
wanna
girls
say-
were told not to go out with those Hardwick boys. They were tough.
You've always had that feeling,
Yeah.
for Greensboro about the Hardwick people.
Yeah.
Well, I had them. I admit I had them. I know it was Frank Russell and
Yeah, I remember
Smith.
him being down East Side together.
And his father ran the sawmill down there. I lived up at Payne. And then there's George Richards. His grandfolks lived over here up on the lake farm. There's 4 of them. So anyway, Frank Russell, and when I went out west, and he went living quite a lot, from that. So we got married. I'll never forget this. And, boy, it was a wicked day. I had to put the chains on. So when I got down the East Hydick, I drove up and I didn't think about it. I stopped right in front of Frank Russell's place. You know how Frank lives.
Yeah.
I stopped, took my chains off and put them in the car. And Frank, he sat there and he didn't think nothing about it. And then afterwards he read in the paper we got married, you know. Next time I see him, boy, did he help me. Boy, if I never know that, he said, you never put that there.
Yeah, in those days, and I don't know if they do it now, but you always, if they were at home, you got a group of people and you, what'd they call that? Chivalry, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
And you didn't let them sleep all night. You made so much noise.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
They didn't do it to us because we weren't
Foster
around.
Gebbie got married.
Yeah.
Bessie's father and mother ran the post office.
Post office, yeah.
And he was a barber.
Yeah.
And Foster, when they got married upstairs. And Robert Willie and Andrew Willie, I think there's 3 of them, they watched it when somebody had a team. So I had to be somebody beside them. So when they came down the hallway, they took Bessie, run, put in the sleigh, went off. They said they went down to the water tub, just turned around and come back, they were fun. Now, have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
That would get Foster pretty upset, wouldn't it?
Well, you didn't make much difference, he lost that.
I was thinking it might be pretty
Bernie
bad.
tells about George Tallman when he got married.
Oh, I know.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
What was it that was in the box? In the
Well,
sleigh, in the wagon or sleigh or whatever it was?
Those are wagon.
Wagon?
Yeah.
There was a box of something he had in there and you boys took it out and filled it up with horse manure. Whatever it was.
took it down,
Oh,
that
what
was
miserable
when
things
Collins
they did.
in the, post office down there where, well, you know, where Willie owns now, that
Oh, you mean Rollins?
Rollins owns
Yeah.
the post office there. I mean, you know, we took it down there, mailed it down there to him there.
Well, he took the same route his father did when he got married.
Well, it bothered him, and that was why it was fun, because he got really mad about it.
Oh,
And that was really fun, because he really got.
Well, he didn't get back to me, tell me that when there was Wednesday night, I had a girl at school used to serve dinners, you know, when town meeting day
Yeah.
at school. So they had a lot of pies, so the girls come along, they come up and I guess the pie was 5 cents a piece. So honey was up on the top then, I was. And they wanted to buy a piece of pie and I didn't want it, but I happened to think, George Tallman, you always wore rubber boots.
Yeah.
Tell me,
Rubber
rubber
boots.
boots, just to go in the,
Manure on.
just as you go in the hall, he put them over in this corner. So I took a piece of pie. I said, Earl.
Miserable.
I said Earl, so I took a piece of pie and very quietly put it in and boom. We watched. When George come out, he fell down into the boots and all walked down. He walked right down the sidewalk down there and went home. But I know why we have a lot of fun with that.
He always made town meetings interesting.
Oh,
I remember him and old Sam Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam Rich, another one.
yeah. Yeah.
Boy, they had their say.
Kicked him in
Yeah.
San Francisco.
You know, there's one of the boys, that Sam Rich's boy, that didn't have a darn thing.
The
Born a
Richard.
church mouse.
Yeah.
And went to school to her.
Yeah.
And his nose is always running and everything like that. And that boy today comes up, calls her up,
Yeah.
and comes up and see us. And he comes up with the most beautiful
motorhome. It's a gray, big, well, it's as big as Dave's, you know?
The fat fella
And he
hasn't
had
done
nothing.
well since.
Is that Sam Rich's boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Harold.
Guy Rich.
Guy?
Guy Rich.
He comes every year to see us.
Yeah.
He's had
Is he from Springfield?
No, he's from South Carolina.
I mean, the
Oh,
filling
yeah.
station
That's
down
the boy.
there.
Yeah, the boy.
Yeah.
Now he's retired.
Yeah.
He was up this.
His wife is a nurse, a retired nurse,
Is that
and
the
the
fat
nicest
father?
people, and of
Yeah.
course he talks
See.
Southern now, you know, and here he was, a little kid. Well, he wrote me a letter and said that, at that time, he had nothing. Of course, his father abused him. I
Oh
mean,
my
today,
God.
his father, they take him away, you know, from his folks, because he got pounded up plenty. And he said that I seemed to be the only one that cared what happened to him. And he wrote this letter to me, and then he wanted to know if he could come and see me. And here, you know, I expected, well, on my he drove up, and he called me from East Hardwick and said they were coming,
His brother.
and we were going to be at home.
Yeah.
And here he drove in with this great, big
He's got the
motorhome.
most wonderful wife too.
Yeah, she's.
That's the way
And
it
he's
is.
crazy about her. I
There
mean,
was Harold
there's
and
nothing
what
he
was the
can't
other
say
was-
good
I
about
should
her, you
know, I
know.
went to
He
school, both
says,
of them.
well, she's
Harold.
Dan Rich.
made me.
Dan, wasn't it?
Dan.
Well, he went to
Yeah.
Springfield, and I looked him up a few years ago. He's retired now,
Yeah.
but as he done wonderful, he went in the machine shops down there and got a beautiful woman.
This fella's.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get used to it because it was yes ma'am and
Yes,
no ma'am and
He always
everything
calls her
was,
man,
you
man.
know, Southern, and I go, oh, God, it floored me.
That's the Southern. But you remember the time that talking about Sam Rich and Mr. Tallman that was when he was Lister again, so he went around and Lister got on Sam Rich, and Sam knew about time that probably he'd be coming over there. And he had a pair of Shetland ponies.
Hit him on the
So he took them up to the sugar place. So Allie, Mr. Tallman, came in and asked him if he had any horses, said no, so he listed him. And pretty quick, after a few days, well, not quite a while after that, Mr. Rich had trouble with his mill. And so he had to go to, he said it had to separate it. So he brought it down to the station and went to Centipede or someplace in New York, just over the border. And I was unloading the milk train about time to come up, and I was unloading, that time it was 40% cream. I put them on that wagon and the butter and stuff. And I see Mr. Tom coming over from George Davis. I didn't think much about it. When he come over and see me, he looked at me and said, hi John, he said, have you seen anything of Sam Rich? And I said, no, I haven't, just today right off. I said, he'd been here, because I said he brought down his cream. And he said, that's what I thought. He said, do you know where he might be? I said, I don't. He said, if anything, I imagine he might be up to the blacksmith shop. He might gone home. I was suspected because I'd heard this other. And so,
I don't know where I ever learned to turn.
so they met up there, and boy, did they have it up there. And Sam told me, he said, I knew, he says, I told you I didn't have any horses. He says, I didn't have any horses. He says, I had just 2 Shetland ponies.
Yeah.
They used to do little crooked things and, up
It's
there
hard
in
to
your
think
neighborhood.
when he's
Up
here,
there where your
he
folks
says
used to live.
there's nothing
I
about his
remember,
home life that he
John
really
Kenrick, you remember.
remembers
Down
fondly
there.
at all.
He was
And that
listening.
seems so,
Yeah.
And Dean Mitchell, where he
Yeah.
lived, you know, up there.
Next door neighbor.
Yeah, up there. I can remember, I guess it was Dad telling me about, because he did a lot of his stuff from Miami, Georgia, of course.
that's what
About,
he wrote me the first time, excuse me,
Yeah.
before.
John going up there, John Tender going up there listening to us now. And he knew that Dean, in the spring there, he had a lot of shows. And he got up there listening to us, you know, and he says to Dean, he says, well, he says, you got any pigs? He says, no. He says, you know, I got rid of all those pigs. He says, my gosh, you got wild that I just couldn't take care of them. He says there's too many. He says I got rid of all of them. Well, John goes on, takes hold of it, pulls up one of the scuttles there. While they kept the horses. And John said, what are these things down here? I remember Dad telling about that. I know well enough. He got it from Hiram Kelvin, don't throw them bothers. But they used to let that way back in do some.
There were scoundrels in those days, were there?
It's human nature all over, isn't it?
He said, no, he says, I told you I didn't have any horses. And he says, I haven't got any horses. He says, I got just 2 shallow ponies.
Sure.
In a sense,
Too often you get letters like that.
No.
It's a teacher, is it?
No, you don't.
Gertrude Willie has a lot of her
Yeah,
old school friends come.
they come,
and see her.
Richards come, the older one comes
Yeah.
to see her.
Bluebell Belknap. Bluebell, Nettie, and Forrest.
And all of those came from really poor families,
Oh, yeah, they
you
were
know.
poor.
There weren't
And,
that many, what you call, rich people those days anyway.
No. And she was kind of a motherly teacher as well as a teacher. She was a wonderful teacher. But she has most every year, I'll guarantee. Well, I just see her the other day, she's speaking about this fall, Bluebell
Yeah,
coming in.
yeah. And I know that, I think it's Dan Ricks that comes to see her every, I believe it's Dan.
You don't get that in the computer. I think I have a place, but I think way beyond. Did you hear the second education speaker here a while ago? He said, if I had a school with 5 teachers within 2 years, they thought they could get it down to at least 3, if not 2.
No, I didn't hear that. Is that
That was
right?
over a
You
year
think that's
ago.
true?
And the
Oh, yeah,
computer's
yeah.
gonna wipe the noses.
Yeah, yes.
Help
Well,
zip
now-
up the jackets and all the good stuff.
That makes me, what are you gonna do? I mean, 3 teachers. Got a bill, pay, getting their education, you know, and what is it gonna, that's one place where our science and stuff is getting way ahead of it. They aren't gonna have work, plus probably aren't going to, because they're all going out.
Well,
It
many
happens.
people going into teaching now because it doesn't pay that
Well,
well. I mean, it has to,
Well,
you have
no,
to be
we just
dedicated
support
to
one way or the
be a
other, and
teacher
you just
today.
as well throw you down some of these computers out the window and let the teacher that is a good teacher and let kids like her, if she does have to scratch a little
They're all
red
one
pencil
grade.
over her head.
I would be for having both. I wouldn't want to throw the computers out.
No, I wouldn't either. But did you see Japan here about, well, it's a year ago now, and just the other night, 2020, with China. Now that's China, and they're just starting in. But what is China doing? It showed the computer that they had made. But them Chinese are not allowed to use that computer until they can do it right in their head.
Well, I
And that is the way that Japan was
don't
over
really
2
know
years
much about
ago.
computers
Well,
anyway.
they just say you was up in North Country School up here in beyond Newport. You get to know how to do math before they'll let you use a calculator.
Yeah, well, that's what they should do.
That's what
Girls
they
were
should
playing
do.
cards the other night.
Yeah,
at the
'cause I
end of-
get
they
3
wanted to know if
grades,
they had
and I
hand
bet you
calculators.
$1
There's nothing
they
to it.
don't know that time
But
table.
they use them, I guess,
Yeah.
in school. I don't know how good they do.
Oh,
I'm not against
really,
computers.
no. Oh, those little pocket ones, they carry, everybody carries one of those, I think.
Well, you know, last time we went to St. David, looking for our old, for a pickup to take place, and I had a new one, no one. And I hadn't spot one. As you come through the bridge, it looked pretty good, so I stopped looking and I told David, I said, I think it's I know that might interest me. So next morning we drove over. And we went in, of course the young fella coming out, and before we could even get to where it was, he got it. Don't know what I it was, and so forth and so on. And he said what the whole thing was, you know, right off the bat. Well, I said, well, I guess we'll go and look it over. And it was in good shape, but it was getting pretty near noon. So we went in to see the other fellow, and he went in, and we put up what we thought maybe would be a good proposition. This fellow said, well, you come back after dinner. This was the boss, the old man in there. And so we went to a little go and come back, and I told him, no, you know, my old saying is a way to a man's heart's to his stomach. And like I went in there, put me fooled around, then finally he took a pad with his pencil and he figured it out, you know. We got within $10 of what we figured.
You know, I know of some people, some young men and women that weren't able to memorize, like multiplication tables and adding and so forth, but they can work a calculator.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't throw the calculator.
Oh no, I
out.
ain't throwing it out.
Because there are some people that can use the calculator that just cannot memorize.
But I mean, if you knew how to do your math, I kept it let you use it. But you had to know just what you were doing. Then you could use a calculator,
Yeah, I think they're
I'm
great
not
help
against it,
myself.
no.
I like
Oh,
to
I'm
take
not
them
against
shopping even.
But I do think when it gets to the point, it's all going
Get too much in there.
Well, it's pretty easy to learn how to do a calculator.
Well, my boy uses it every night. In 5 minutes, he knows how much he spent that day and how much he's going to take it in. Computer, he can sit right down and every night. Has it figured right up and boy, you can do it.
It's much quicker if you're trying to do percentages.
I remember Hiram Calwood, because he lived sort of up in our neighborhood, to go down Hazen Road.
Oh, sure.
He was, at that time, they didn't teach math the way they should in school. They should be able to do these long strings, you know, of math in your heads, and he knew they weren't getting that in school. Well, this was probably 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I'm sure he'd be horrified at the math.
Well, I'm sure he would. But not everyone can do that.
Because the kids went into the house, I think he was always testing them with a string of numbers, add and subtract.
I have sympathy for him though, because in those days too, if you couldn't get up and be first in a spelling bee, you weren't much, and I never could spell.
I never can.
Never.
Still bothers me.
And I think that's why I don't like to write, because I have to have my dictionary with me, because I may spell it right, but I won't be sure, so I have to go to the dictionary.
All the time. I have to check words every while.
And it takes the fun out of writing.
Spelling was my weakest.
Me too, it bothers me.
Teacher
Yeah.
say was a if you don't know how to
Of course,
spell it,
there are lots of big
You have to look quite a while before you find them.
managers
I
of
don't have to spell,
corporations. They don't have to spell, they can't spell
Right,
anyway,
don't
but they
even-
have secretaries that do all the work for
Important
them.
letter to write,
they don't-
some of those tax people are going.
But it's funny, so many of those old people that had no education at all were so good at math.
Yeah.
So like, I don't
I
suppose
can do
Davis
some
had
of it. I
ever
know what
had
I
any
wanna say.
great amount of schooling.
No,
But
probably
boy,
not.
he
like
knew,
my father, he never went to
Yeah,
the
but,
7th grade.
boy, you couldn't beat him on figures.
People.
Well, he was good at figures, he was very good at writing.
Well, I'm talking about Davis,
Oh, yeah.
George Davis, he had to be the,
Oh, yeah.
he had to be to be in the store like that, you know, well enough he was good at
And I
figures.
wrote,
Oh, yeah.
told them,
And,
they still
Well,
call it.
no one had much of a high school education in those days.
See,
No, as I said, my dad,
Get
7th
enough
grade,
boys,
that's all he had.
I always
He
teach
started
right out of there.
Then, back then, you would,
They're talking
you
with
wouldn't
that
go to the spring or the
so
fall.
it was
You
still
go
great
to all the
to say,
winter
and then with
time.
the taxes
So you
too.
went to
Right,
summer,
right,
winter
right.
time. You started to go,
The money that I down there, I had it in my box, but I
it's
didn't
just
turn
a
it in.
factory.
That's what I do.
And people were poor, so he had to learn school, help go out and work, help pay for the
Can you imagine the first year I taught school, I only had 1 year of training, and I taught all 7 grades. I must have been terrible.
Boy.
You learned the hard way, didn't you?
I must have.
Where'd you go, Christine?
I was in Woka,
But where'd you get your training?
Johnson, no, the 1 year.
I have to explain to
Was in
him why
Johnson.
you get to pay the 8%.
And I went
But
to
told him
North
because
Woka,
he was a month late.
way up on the hill in Noland where the well
Just a little
cats
above Twin
stood on the
Bridges.
post and yelled, and I was scared to death to walk home, you know,
When I get,
to walk,
I get a
to my
phone
boarding
call.
place.
I'm gonna share.
and I had all 7 grades,
Three of
and
Three of us.
that was tough.
That's all, 3 or 4.
And I'm sure that, well, you didn't have to teach then, but you do now anyway.
No, you didn't have to have
You
a lot of
taught
science, a lot of this,
reading
a lot
and
of
writing and arithmetic and science and history and geography, and that was it.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
and that,
That's terrible.
none of
Right.
this newfangled stuff had come in by then anyway. You didn't,
I had trouble with the oil place every year.
they had a big stove in the middle of
I
the
mean, you know. I
one-room
had
schoolhouse.
trouble.
There were lots of things good about a one-room schoolhouse though.
Oh, yeah, they had their advantages.
Then you went around, you couldn't-
I guess I taught one-room schools 2-3 times, but
I know.
the big stove was always in the corner,
I didn't.
encased with the jacket,
Well, this one was an older one than that, but it was a box stove in the middle.
box stove.
Yeah.
Trouble in there.
And
Is the
then,
schoolhouse still standing?
They'll do.
no,
It's gone.
no, it burned.
I gave it to my lawyer.
And then I went to Cransbury, one-room school, and they had to kind of furnish it.
Which one did you do in Craftsbury?
There's always some.
Up in the Uri Young district.
Seaver School.
Yes,
I taught there for
Oh, you
years.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I boarded at the Youngs and at the Uris.
I boarded at Yuri's. I got a mile's hike from Yuri's over
Yeah.
for near mile.
Yeah,
But they're getting so high now, it's gonna be quite a job to get up this night. Breakfast. And they were kind of about 17% more this year.
Yeah. 17?
So
Yeah.
out of the year,
That's
they
what they thought.
what's
come
that?
out in the
The road.
What's that?
Texas,
Taxes? 70% more?
17. So they're
Well,
talking, the president, something was in the paper last week, I don't know. Tell you about it when you had a free town
It's
meeting.
about time, I think, for me or us to sell out.
I think so too.
Pick up the stakes and move for shack somewhere.
7,000?
Yeah.
What's that?
For 7,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once a rise.
Look out, you'll have to pay a lot of income tax on all you've gained.
No, you don't have to, do you, if you
Oh,
sell your home
Your
place,
capital
or
gains.
once anyway.
No. The capital gains.
After 125,000 you might have to, but if you make more than 125,000 on capital gain.
of course, when you get
But
older,
you don't have
you
to.
get less.
There's a lot
Pay
of
less,
angles to
yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
But you put a lot into it too, so you can add in all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Come and do it, that's your
Rang rate.
So Paul Masse was saying, and if they keep coming up, you'll have to do something. He gets
Oh,
Masse.
how's he?
For you?
Well, it gets to the point where even if you can pay it, you don't want to spend all your
Well, I
money for
know,
that,
that's what I mean, like Paul.
you know?
Almost 2 hours for that
Yeah.
time of year.
Well,
Of course, there are other things come into
Let's
it.
see where
Maybe you don't want
Everett
a
is,
bigger
Willie.
place to
I
take
know,
care of.
where
And it's
else
hard to
Yeah.
get somebody if you can't mow
Yeah.
your lawn and do the things
be
that
over that
keep your
this
place
year.
up.
I know this year.
It's kind of hard to find anyone.
If it
There are
goes
too many
17,
people that do
It'll
that
open
kind of work
20
around
some
here.
odd hours,
Each
We'll be
Sauls
over.
does, but I think he's
Yeah.
pretty busy.
I think most of them that do it are pretty well
That's
tied
too
up
much,
with
I
summer
think.
people.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
saying.
And it's pretty
They set
expensive,
that
I suspect,
online.
at the rates they
I'd
charge.
I bet it
look into
is.
that, see. I mean, you know,
I don't know.
still
We've always done
fine,
everything
but I
ourselves,
mean,
but,
If you
Yeah.
can't get high school kids
fertilizer on.
Yeah.
to do it.
Fine.
oh, there might be. There might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
Maybe you've got kids
Wanna
up
get
this
into
way,
it.
maybe, I don't know whether Fletcher kids or some of them like that will do it.
I don't know.
Can you pay them then?
I can't understand how they will get, probably get a good chance.
What?
My boy,
Good chance to what?
the farm, when I turn it over, seems so he ought to be free and clear today.
But he isn't.
I don't know.
Oh. I thought you were warning because he wasn't.
I don't think he is.
Yeah.
But
Well-
everything you buy costs so much nowadays.
That's what's trouble with him, but even so, my God, when you get a farm for like he got, new barns and all new equipment, new tractors and everything, when he bought it.
Trouble of it is, I think, you know, that an awful lot of those people, when they had a good chance there, that a lot of these things, all right,
Joey,
something coming up, don't you know, through things, well, all right, we'll go to work and have that. We can pay so much on it now, don't you know?
Right.
And then pay so much a month. There's been too darn much of that, I think,
That's right.
too much of it.
Well, they encourage it, I think.
Sure, they encourage it. That's one trouble with the farmers out west.
Yeah.
The bankers. I read an article just the other day there in the American Agriculturist. I got that.
They're really
For a
having a
fellow
hard
with
time,
the bar
I think.
5,000 looks, you know, and the bank would say, well, gosh, you know, you say interest rate might be going up. He says, we can loan you 10, all right. Why don't you take 10? Well, everything.
Well, we had that happen to
That's
us. When we wanted to borrow money, they tried to have us take more.
Oh,
They, if you want more, well, you can have
And
it.
that's another thing that I don't like. They talk about the banks going together. Now they talk about them going into the other state. I have a chainsaw. This is a good example.
I know it.
I have pretty good credit with the bank.
Sure, that's it.
With all new barns.
I had to have new chainsaw used to it. Chainsaw went down, she listened to me.
I paid for him in less than 10 years.
Small chainsaw.
I know it.
And
Take a
it's
tractor.
small one, $145. So of course he's cash.
Tractors.
So I went to a bank,
Two or three of them.
went to my bank,
But
and I
do me
got
three,
one or two other things along.
get three,
Over that.
1 year.
They said, I'm sorry, no, I said, you can't do it.
Yeah, but
I can't get
how can you use three when there's just two of them?
I didn't own it. She said, yes, you can, but she said, you got to borrow 500.
She done it
Oh,
one
for goodness sake.
Well, that's right
We
in
had
there.
there for a long
Said, you got
time.
to borrow 500. Says the only way that you can borrow that amount of money is go, the bank is taking over now the, these cards.
The other day.
It's all-
Oh, credit cards, you mean?
Yeah,
One place there
she
was
said,
one-
the bank is taking through memo, and she says, they, you can borrow that amount through there. Well, I said, I never got tied up with them yet, so there's no like that.
Yeah,
I couldn't get that chainsaw, because I had to borrow $500 to get my $140 chainsaw. That's right down in the That's one trouble.
It was somebody said that I charged something like $7 to cash checks. This was in Willie's store the other day. They commented on how many people cash the checks from Willie's store because it costs so much. If you don't have a bank account, it costs so much to cash your checks in the bank.
Does it, Bernie?
I don't know now. I
Have to
don't know.
ask.
I wouldn't do that at all.
Well, I always,
They charge you
I hadn't
10
heard
cents
that, Dorothy.
cashing your
No,
check.
as a merchant you do. You have to
Because
pay
he-
$1 if you don't have an
Yeah,
account.
dollar, I
It's more like
guess.
a
if you
dollar.
bought-
I
$1
couldn't
per
understand
check.
that $7 bit. That
But
must
it's
have
still
been crazy.
ridiculous.
You know, I heard that because Joe out to the lake cabins, you know, live in Florida now. Joe,
Bergeron?
Bergeron,
Yeah.
they live in Florida. And he had a chick cashed out that Orleans, and there he'd done business with that bank for years and years and years.
He was a cattle dealer. So he
Cattle,
had a lot of
thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And I know they I think it's $5 they charged him.
Yeah.
He was
Because,
a man.
what's his name down there sells cars. He worked for him.
Carl's.
Carl's.
Oh,
He
yeah.
worked for him. And Carl says, for heaven's sakes, why didn't you tell me? And he says, I could cash that check for you for nothing. Because he says, I do my bank right there.
That's
So
ridiculous.
you're right. I don't know what
Of
to
course,
do.
I guess banks charge for everything now.
well, yeah, they charged.
For everything.
Cashing your social security checks, one of them, so I went to the other one, and they charged it for nothing. I
Doesn't-
never count either one of them.
Mine comes direct now. It didn't used to, but it comes direct.
Well,
So
I
it
don't
doesn't
get
cost me
nothing.
anything.
I
Mine goes
see
right
it.
to
Mine
bank.
comes direct
They
too.
don't charge.
But
Yeah.
it does now. I
Yeah,
haven't my teacher's retirement over yet. I kinda like to go in and get some cash out of that, but
sure.
I do let the other one go direct.
Mine got lost.
Find out of town, it's
Yeah.
handy.
Wait until you're to New York City,
Yeah,
month, before they ever get it straightened out.
yeah,
New York City, when you
yeah.
Yeah, when they make a mistake, boy, they make them. They don't straighten them out very fast,
No,
do they?
Mine goes direct to the bank.
Yeah, well, we decided, because evidently it works better if it's that
Yeah,
way,
it's all-
if they get lost.
All by computer or whatever.
Yeah,
No, I
Yeah.
get mine on the
No
computer,
mails,
on
no.
the checking account. So when he comes in, it goes on my checking account.
but I've never heard, Bernie, do you know anything about, does your bank have to have $500 to loan anybody? You wanted to borrow $145?
145.
And they wouldn't loan him-
I went down to
They wouldn't
two
loan them
banks.
anything less than 500. That sounds
And I didn't
silly.
know either one of them banks was sent, but only Danville was.
Just with a-
And they told me that they couldn't, that amount, they told me they could not loan me that much, but they could loan me 500.
Well, you probably could have borrowed the 500
Oh,
and paid
yeah.
back. No, but you could pay back 350
No.
the next day.
I
They
don't
wouldn't
think
let you
so.
do that either?
No.
I'll find out about that.
She told me, well,
You
I
better
had a
make
lot
it
of
known.
dealings with her, and she told me, says, I'm sorry, John, and she said, since we've gone in at Burlington with our bank, she says, they strictly nothing less than $500. But she says, if you want to, she says, you can take out a card. Now the banks are,
Is that for that machine you mean? That,
No, probably.
Or
just
Master
credit
charge.
yeah,
Master-
MasterCard.
Oh,
These
MasterCard,
three different
yeah.
things. She says you can borrow them, but she says it'll probably take you a month to get it through.
Yeah.
So I didn't send them on, and of course I had to get it. But
but that's
I
silly.
get stuck in Burlington last summer. Guy broke down on me, I had to stop and rent a car. But you know, I couldn't rent a car because I didn't have a
Credit.
credit
Credit
card.
card won't do a thing. Debbie tried to do that one day when she
And
broke
I had,
down.
I
If you
showed
don't have
him
a
my
credit
wallet,
card, you can't
I
rent
had
a car.
$500.
Well, you have to have credit.
Well, I had
There's
Tracy's,
somewhere
You have
or
to have
other.
the credit
I had
card.
Tracy's check with me, express checks with me.
Uh-huh.
Well, they
It
wouldn't know.
wouldn't, it wouldn't take that. I had my own check and I had $500 in cash, I showed it to them.
It makes a difference. They probably don't want your money.
Well, you see, the thing is, you pay
they
for it
want
when
it,
you
but they
return the
don't
car
want
in.
it until you get some more.
Oh,
I
No,
think
but
maybe
see, the
that's
trouble
why.
is, if something
Yeah.
should happen to that car where you had it, they can hump the price on your car where they can't, you pay them cash.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
I see what you mean.
Yeah, but they don't know, that until you turn the car back in, you don't pay for it. And when, if you didn't have some credit, maybe they couldn't get back at you at that stage.
Probably no, but you
I don't know what that.
take it out of your domestic.
I know, we went to England, that's what they said,
You know,
we'd have to have a
Get
visa or
one
something
now.
to rent a car.
Laura, you was gonna ask Willie if,
What?
the Kessman, there, I know, those people's in the other day there.
Cassidy's.
Kessman.
Oh, yeah. I
You
want,
got, if you can't tell the address right offhand, you probably.
No, but I can call you.
yeah, we want to ask them to, we forgot, but we want to ask, they're coming next July and we wanted to want them to bring some pictures of their place because they keep telling us about this lovely place they live and they have everything, bees and, you know, and we'd like some pictures of it.
Okay.
And where do they live? I know he works at Chesa.
Riverside, Connecticut.
They live in Connecticut
And
and
he
he works
drives-
in,
He gets on a train, I think.
yeah, just like,
Huh?
Train.
Kinsey.
Goes through the,
Goes to the city in the train. He gets up at 4:45 in the morning.
he does?
Train goes like, I don't know, 5:45 or
Well,
Works for the
Kingsley
Chase
did too.
Manhattan, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the Kingsley lived in New Canaan and took the
Yeah.
train to work in New York.
They all do that.
They seem to be off pleasant people, I think.
Very nice. He's real high up in the bank. He's on television programs about it and big ads for the bank. He signs them.
Yeah. I bet maybe that's. I got some literature today. I bet you maybe he sent it. I don't know.
Well, I don't know whether he was not.
I don't know that he was not, but I got some literature. That Merchants Bank today.
From
I was
Chase
going to ask him
Manhattan.
the other day what's a good investment. Well, I forgot everything about it. I was going to.
I was going to ask him if you should put your money in for 1 year, 2 years, or 6 months on CDs. What Chase Manhattan. Of course, he might say, well, we don't give that out free of charge. And I'll say, we don't give free of charge business on that. Yeah, your girls up there either.
Yeah.
He'd get a great laugh out of that.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, talking about this New York business, this friend of ours, this fella just died.
You got to go.
He was like, you remember they had a cottage up in front of the, on the top of the lake there, Kinsley?
Oh,
And she wrote me that I just wish that he had lived in Greensboro because two of the people, the companies he worked for gave, the two of them together gave $1 million to Yale
Oh, yeah.
Medical School.
oh,
Now, I'd like just 1,000 or 2 of it.
we have a few thousand to remodel and finish up the town hall, huh? Well, not more than
Well, that's
1,000.
what I'm saying
Yeah,
here
let's
is,
have a few, let's
Yeah.
have 50,000 or something.
but $1 million, 500,000 apiece.
The next one will be 8 and 12, 10.
Yeah.
So he lived
So
in
you need to be
Greensboro?
getting home, huh?
They had a,
We all,
I think we should be, I think we're done, I think we just.
they had a camp at the head of the lake. Who owns that camp now?
Kingsley's.
no.
Kingsley. Who owns that?
Gouses.
Yeah, Mrs.
Yeah.
Gauss owns it, but they lived there, and when we were at Cedar Rock,
Oh, yeah.
they were, of course, he worked, and she would live here all summer, she and her daughter.
That's what I guess a lot of them did, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was almost 90, he just died. And we've kept writing to each other, we don't see each other, but for years and years and years, we've written. And at Christmas time, you never saw so much stuff. Of course, he works for this company, and the company sends out all kinds of crates of oranges and all that kind of stuff at Christmas.
Yeah.
You never saw the mess of stuff we'd get at Christmas. There would be 2 boxes of chocolates, and the best you could buy.
Fruitcake.
Fruitcake, yeah, and corned beef, a great big side of corned beef, and I
I
can't
love
tell you.
it. You do? I should use fruitcake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy, I love it.
You don't care?
Oh, you
I
damn
never
right.
liked it, but I like it.
Especially some of those I made with brand new rum.
I shouldn't, this is beautiful stuff. I shouldn't eat it, but I love it.
And this is, she wrote me, she said he wasn't they weren't affiliated with any church, so they're having a memorial get-together with all his friends and business partners. They're renting a hotel hall or something, and all getting together to talk about their knowing him and what they did, which is
Similar thing to what they did for Louis Kessman sort of thing.
oh, that was.
That's nice.
And anyway, I was just thinking what we could do with just a little of that money.
Well, why don't you write him and tell him that how you need
I know,
somebody?
but he's passed.
He's passed away now.
This is it.
She wrote us, and
He's gonna come in June, maybe we can.
no, I guess not.
Maybe I can talk with her so to get the town.
Talk about,
Yeah.
Louis' life, I used to ice up that refrigerator, and it took a 10 by 12 piece of ice, you know. They had a little one there in the kitchen, we had one off, I had one off, and boy, what a place that was to ice up. Like, you got along all right, but I wanted to be sure it was. But that's.
Some of those places you had to, I know down
Yep,
that one, when I used to pedal milk, but you know.
Some are more particular than others, huh?
We were the first ones to pedal pasteurized milk around this lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we sat in there. Yeah.
Well,